Shalom. Salama. Siemi. Shalom. Greetings to all my Israelite brothers and sisters from around the world. Whether you're the bloodline of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the house of Israel, or you are a Gentile grafted into the house under the blood of Yahusha HaMashiach. We welcome you this morning. Thank you for all those that were on the live stream yesterday supporting the Day of Atonement live stream. Yesterday was a very interesting day. I was trying to fast all day, and I was only able to make it about maybe 16, 17 hours. That hurt trying to fast with a sinus infection, head cold. So I had to break the fast about 2. And I said, Father, I thank you. I tried to best effort. That thing was tearing me. And you know when you know your body's messed up when you feel like you're on a an 8 mile run and you didn't even go anywhere. That's how my body felt. So able to get lots of fluid on in me. So getting the electrolytes back on up, getting things together. So I'm on the road to recovery. So I appreciate the prayers, family. Again, I'd like to thank all the prayer partners coming up. Sister Josie had a brother or pastor, Pastor Rick Fletcher, Sister Bonnie Jones, Sister Anissa, and Sister LaShonda. Prayer is power, family. And you may not get the prayers answered with your immediate family, but prayer is power. And as I started off today, I was thinking about my family. And asked the Most High, why are my prayers not effective for my family? Why are my prayers not effective for the ones that I love? I was always asking the Most High that. Here's the thing, family, and this is the Most High. He had to he had to gut check me. Prayers are only as effective as the choice that person wants to make. See, we don't realize what the Most High is doing with our family members behind the scenes. We don't realize how the Most High convicts our family members behind the scenes. But you also that our people in the heart of Babylon, and their hearts are hardened continually. We live in an age and in a season where it's the battle for what? For souls. We're literally battling for souls. And this propaganda that this system has created is trying to take out anyone and anybody. Doesn't matter if you're an Israelite, doesn't matter if you're a Gentile. The blood is the blood. The spillage is the spillage. The loss is the loss. We have our family members making the choice to continue to serve Baal. We have our family members hardening their hearts to continue to serve the image. And it's going to be that way until the very end. And all we can do is ask the Most High that, Father, please allow them to see, at least at the very end, give them the choice. See, back in Elijah's time, there were what, 7,000 that hadn't bowed their knee to Baal? So people knew what was going on. People understood what was happening. Yeah, that's not necessarily how the Most High wants things, but this is as good as we're going to get. Do we recognize that mentality today? Do we recognize that thought process today with our family, with our loved ones, with our friends? That thought process is not owed so well. And because it's not going to bode well, we see the time of their decision. I always look at Valley of Jehoshaphat, the Valley of Decision. There was a Valley of Decision that had to be made amongst the people. When you read the story, when you understand the story, the victory was already given in the hands of the people. It was just that the people had to choose to believe that it was done. And then what ended up happening? You had the naysayers saying, what? Oh, that will never happen. And then what did the prophet say? Look, everybody's going to be eating and celebrating and doing all this and doing all that by this time tomorrow. But you will never see it. The victory is already declared, but those that chose to not, those that decided to not believe the report, to not act upon the report, their decision was made. And guess what? Y'all have read the story. Y'all have read it in Second Kings. That official, that guard, he saw all the people running to the exits to get everything that the enemy left, and he was trampled to death. Oh, yeah. This is not going to be a feel good today, family. Because why? Because the choices have been made, the decisions have been made, and guess what? Now we're starting to see everything in action. We have our people ignoring the inevitable. And that's a shame because they have the choice to either serve the Most High or they have the choice to be ran over. I'm just saying, choose ye this day. I'm choosing to serve the Most High because everything that has been prophesied, everything that has been spoken, everything that has been broken down and digested within our community, it's happening right in front of our faces. Question is, how long do you think the Most High has given us to decide? How long do you think the Most High has given us at this valley of decision? Because he's pleading with his people face to face. But they get told, oh, well, it's just voting. Your vote matters. Your vote counts. No, it doesn't. The Most High is pleading with his people face to face. Well, if we can do what we need to do, and we're doing this, we're doing that, and the Most High is pleading with his people face to face. You want to know how the Most High is pleading with his people face to face? You saw it last week in the UN. You saw it last week at the Security Council, at the General Assembly. You saw it last week. Those speeches weren't feel good speeches. Bucking leader. Those speeches weren't everything's fine and dandy. Go about your business speech. Matter of fact, those speeches were the exact opposite. Those speeches were the most unnerving speeches that the West has ever had to deal with. Those speeches that were made had consequences about the actions that the West is no longer able to take on the continent. I want to talk about those speeches. I want to talk about what we see here. Now, I'm going to let you know, I'm putting the ground rules in here. The quest to unite Africa, that that Friday discussion is more, those are guidelines to it. It's more shaped than this for this is Covenant Awakening. See, when you have your blue, you got the blue light, not the green light, but you got the blue light. We're coming on up here. You can speak in reason. We're not going to have any type of a Rastafarian or comedic outlook on any of this. And if that's your game, and if that's your agenda, then I'll kindly put you in the back. And then on the private chat, I'll kindly ask you to boot yourself so we can have other folks on the panel. Because to me, these discussions are deadly important. These discussions have ramifications that we will be seeing probably in the next 6 months or sooner. Yeah, I'm saying 6 months or sooner. I don't even like to put timelines. I don't even like to put date lines. But you want to know what? The problem is they're the ones putting it. They're the ones saying this. And now it's all coming through. They're literally telling you what's getting ready to happen. Oh, they're about to do bricks. The dollar's going to get messed up. Okay. What does that mean? They're telling you what, you know, banging on the tables, foot stomp. They kind of give you that non-verbal cue. Cough, and our people are just sitting there none the wiser talking about, man, I can't wait till the next season of Madden or whatever they call it, whatever video games, whatever nonsense, whatever football game. Who knows? Who cares? I don't care if they invade us as long as they don't mess up the football season. Do you think that whoever invades us will mess up the football season? And my answer is going to be like this. Honestly, probably not. You're already a captive audience. It's the ones that's the captive audience that are easily led. So you, and then you go right into the slaughterhouse. Real easy. But while that is all going on, we're not even understanding the most significant event that has even taken me by surprise. We're going to talk about this. We're going to have to dissect this thing. Shout out to Swahili Nation. I got a text from the family. Look, check this on out. They was doing a live stream. This brother was up in the middle of the night, and he was talking about France pulling out of Niger. It's over 1,500 troops. And that's very significant. Now, did all of its forces pull out of Niger? I'm not sure. That remains to be seen. But if you understand what ends up happening is you don't necessarily have a logistical base or a logistical support. You may be having those special operations missions here and there. You may be having folks proxy here and there. But that becomes very, very significant. Sister Chantel, Brother Michael, what do you think about that? I know I'm gonna start with you, Sister Chantel, since you're closest to the French and what that means. If the French have to now rely on the UK, what is that? How do you think? I want to know. Give us an analysis. Analysis.
Can you guys hear me? Can
Yes,
you
we
hear me
can.
Yeah.
properly? Okay,
Perfect.
good. Um, I believe that the old rivalries that France and England had will they'll creep back up again, and it will be I don't know you like that.
Hmm.
When I saw that, I was like, okay, but you know what? You have to excuse me. I'm getting attacked by this whole, that thing again.
Hmm.
So,
Are we all?
I can't.
We're all going through that. That listen. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Just
Yeah,
get your what do they call it? Vitamins. Get your vitamins.
yeah, vitamins.
Your vitamins.
But for me, when I saw that, I was like, there was a certain. I wanted to scream. I did scream out hallelujah, but then there was a certain. I felt kind of reserved. Like the thing is, I was. Oh, who's. Is that
Yeah.
is that you, Michael,
Yeah. That's
or is
Mike.
it?
Mike, you got you.
Okay.
Yeah. They're just.
Oh, hold on. I walked too far from the
Yeah. Go
phone.
ahead, sister.
Yeah.
There you go.
So I I I kept watching. I watch Gates of Holder. I love Gates of Holder, you know, and I didn't watch all of her Sunday one, and something just told me just wait. So I didn't watch it all. Then I saw the I can't remember what channel it is, but they were showing how France is getting kicked out of Niger, and obviously I saw that speech as well, done by Burkina Faso as well. But when I saw that, I went back and I watched Gates of Holder,
Hmm.
and at the time when I watched it, when I went back on, I was right on the part where she was talking about the history of you know how well she was talking about what she saw in her garden, her backyard, with the lizard and the two birds pecking away at this lizard, and every time this lizard thought he had a reprieve, or he was, he tried to escape, there they came, just pecking away. And as she said that, immediately I thought to myself, we can't become so complacent. We can't become so complacent to the point where we think or believe that this is over,
Oh
that
no.
they're not going to, that it's okay, we're packing up and we're leaving. Like we're dealing with the serpent seed, and we're dealing with those who are they have a dragon mindset. And the dragon, if you remember, if any of you seen The Hobbit, that dragon Smaug sat on the gold of the mountain, and he was not about to relinquish not one gold coin. He even said it himself. And that is how what we're dealing with these nations. They are very much like that. They have that kind of mindset. So if you believe that they're going to pack up and just leave, and it's like, oh well, they don't want us and that's it, no, they're going back to strategize, to think of something else to try to come against our people, our land, and to tear it up and to try to destroy us. They understand now that this is very much it's either us or them kind of scenario. It's, as we keep saying, scorched earth.
Yeah.
Scorched earth. If I can't have it, none of you can have it. You think that they're going to happily allow us to go back home when they can't get at it? No, it's going to be a fight to the death.
Yeah.
Well. Let me kind of preface that because Sister Chantel, you are absolutely correct. The problem is, and I'm gonna say this, I don't care. It may not be very appropriate for YouTube or so I know the algorithm's gonna mess this on up. Here's the thing: they had the defense pact signed between Mali, Burkina Faso, and Niger. That was
Mm,
signed what Saturday, right? Or I think like a week ago. That was signed more than a week ago, and now France is up and out of there. And the reason I say this, and the reason I say, that is a big deal because in the pact, it's not necessarily Niger, but I believe that Burkina Faso and Mali, or one or the other, they have military ties with Russia and the Wagner Group, and one of them has military ties with Koreans.
mm-hmm.
Here's the thing: they're not going to fight them. They will not fight them.
No, they'll get us to do it. They'll get brother to turn on brother.
That's
That's the
correct.
way. That's always been Esau's way, though.
And here's the thing: now that they have a security pact, and now that they know that there's really no love for the French there, those tactics are probably not going to work. So
Mm-hmm.
so that's why I look at it as, yeah, I am cautiously optimistic, but I'm more on the optimistic side than the cautious side, because you have to understand there is literally a fear. I've never seen this before, unless I saw it with my own eyes. It is like a fear of something, like something supernatural, when it's like, oh, you're gonna deal with the Russians or the Koreans head on, or you're gonna deal with like Togomar. Let's just be honest, like they're gonna deal with them. It's like a crushing fear. No, we can't do that. Let's do this. Let's do that. It's in it, and I can tell it's a spiritual thing. It is very spiritual, brother Michael.
Shalom, shalom, brothers and sister. How you doing? Um, can you hear me, Karis?
Yes, I can. Yeah, you're
All
sounding
right.
good.
Um, I think that I'm gonna say this lightly. We African Americans, as well as Afro Africans, and where Sister Chantel live at, we're the ones who go get hit. They are upset
Hmm.
now. I mean, when Jerusalem went into the wilderness, the devil couldn't touch her. He went off to wage war with the remaining ones of her seed. We're the only ones that they can literally see and touch. The only one they can see and touch. I seriously believe, even though they may have that fear, they're going to do something to us or attempt to do something to us
Hmm.
out of them leaving, um, getting out of Africa. And the sad thing about it is, don't get mad at the brothers. I mean, if the French want to blame anybody, you know what they need to blame? Themselves
Themselves.
and
Yep.
YouTube.
Hmm. Yep.
YouTube got so much stuff out there about the French and their long demonic run. I mean, it is, if they made a movie, it'll be sad. It
Hmm.
will be just downright. How can you humanly do this? It literally took a demonic power for this particular fleshly people to pull this off.
Hmm.
There's no way without a spiritual, some spirit being behind you that you pull this off. It is absolutely impossible for that to happen. But it happened, and you have to recognize you got somebody backing you that is not human. And now everything is out in the open.
Hmm.
Everything is out in the open. You got people redacted. They just shows they gave some dude who was in who's a Nazi soldier in Canada. They gave him some honor and respect.
I
Uh,
saw that.
you seen that?
Yeah, yep.
You
They
know what?
said,
But
I'm
then,
sorry. What happened?
oh my goodness. I was just reading that article.
hmm
That when Zelensky came last week to speak to the Canadian House of Commons, the Parliament gave like some Ukrainian soldier a medal. The problem was the Canadian soldier who actually was fighting for a Nazi brigade in World War II. And this is what they don't want to really let people know, that the Ukraine right now is really a Nazi holdout country.
hmm
Mm.
exactly. That's all it is.
Hmm.
That's
Yeah,
all
I
it
just
is.
didn't know about the Canada
hmm
awarding. Like, I literally just saw it flash up as you said that on my television screen. I was like, what? So I was
I
saying
mean,
it for both because I'm seeing it, and then you said it, and I was like, what is what?
Hmm.
Talk about don't do your research.
Now they're tripping
they.
over
hmm
themselves, and it's like, we're not lying. It's just now they're going to expose themselves, because you got to remember, they how the wicked go. The wicked fall right back into their snare. So they're falling right back into their snare. I think of what you say, brother Michael, and sister Chantel. You know, with the bird scenario, the problem is the bird always has to come back to the seed, right? It always,
Mm,
always. But the problem is that when it comes back to the seed, they're gonna run back into the trap.
hmm
Yeah, I don't think that it's over by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah.
But what that tells me is that when they have to come back, right, they're gonna fall into the trap that's really, they see it right in front of their faces. They just have to fly right into that bird cage because they'll have no
Hey,
choice.
the same thing. Hey, just like Adam and Eve. Eve was deceived. Adam was not. He walked right into that. He knew exactly what he was walking into. They doing the same thing Adam did. They seeing the trouble. They if we go in there, we may not come back out. If we come back out, trust and believe, we're gonna come out with some damage. And it's just that simple. And so this is where they at. I'm telling you, man, with this all this preparation for Day of Atonement, man, I would say,
Michael,
boy, talk to me,
I
sis.
I kind of I kind of think that they're deceived willingly because they've been talking to Chat GPT, and that thing's been telling them all kinds of things like, oh yeah, if you go in there, you do this. They've been strategizing with Chat GPT. I was literally having a conversation with Chat GPT. I was asking it all kinds of questions. I asked it about. I said, I said to it, is there any primary historical references that state that the Jews were actually black or Negro or Swabi? And it said no.
I did the same thing.
It's it
Yeah,
said no.
it's to me it's a lying and deceiving spirit.
Oh yeah, I said, do you
You know,
lie? Are you lying? it, it tried to say how it tries to be as honest and reflect the you know the history that it has at its disposal. I'm like, oh, you're such a liar.
it's a liar. Yeah, it's a lying and deceiving
Mhm.
spirit. Like, you're talking to, literally, in my mind, you're probably talking to something, spiritual, so
I agree.
now they're literally listening to these lying and deceiving spirits, and then they're going to say, well, these what are now these aliens that they're going to get ready to disclose. They're trying to do a bill to disclose, that in 300 days after the bill is signed, that they're going to disclose, alien type stuff. And that's it. So my thing is that, why are you going to disclose it in 300 days? What's the significance of 300 days? Well, I honestly believe, this is me, I believe that we don't have much time until they go to war. the powers that be go to war. Russia's already
Hmm.
saying it. Russia's taking losses because I believe this is what I'm looking at. I believe that Russia has given China time to prepare for the for Taiwan for the Taiwanese invasion. That's what I believe. I believe they're trying to have that window because remember they don't really get many storms, typhoons, and things of that nature around November, December. This is the same as kind of like our Atlantic, hurricane season. You know, that's the same for the Pacific. So the less bad weather that they have per se, the better that they'll have in terms of chances of success to go over and take over the island. At the same time, it's going to be another coordinated response by the Russians to, do what they're going to do in Europe. And then you probably, the wild card to me is you probably have those Korean forces, and those Korean forces will probably be the invasion force here in the U.S. That's
Mm.
just
I
that's
keep thinking
my
about that man's dream. No, that woman's dream where she said she saw Asians who what was it? Paratroopers. And remember the one that it was the same dream where she said that the
mhm,
Gentile woman got her head lobbed off because
yep.
she was carrying on in her Karanicity, you know.
Hmm. Well, because here's the thing, I wouldn't doubt that you would have, Venezuelans and Iranians and other countries helping on out, in that initial invasion
It's their
per se.
backyard.
Hmm. I don't,
Man,
I wouldn't doubt it.
that's
The
why
the
I kept
question,
asking you so many questions yesterday, man.
yeah.
I was coming in on you, man. I mean, it's what I'm seeing, and then things I'm hearing. I'm just trying to put things together that we as a collective can move in a certain way. Man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I got a lot more questions because I mean things have turned up, and it's just so funny. Just to this day, all three of us earlier this year,
Was that me or you, Mike?
we said,
I
"Hey,
remember.
we'll see what happened next week." Now things went
Yeah.
from next week to it's like a
Did
daily
did
thing.
we do a 6 month kind of thing as well? Like, you know what we should do? We should write down, or we should actually what we should do, we should make it very interactive. We should make everybody write down in the comment section when this is over, like a message in the bottle, what they think is gonna happen in 6 months. And the person closest, maybe you could give them a sort of gift or something. I don't know, maybe your free popcorn or whatever, you know, or
Mhm.
50% off of the spray away captivity or whatever. I don't know, something like that. But that would be a good thing, like, just get everybody interactive and we can just see. I kind of think that that's what they did in the churches, but they used ChatGPT to tell them. ChatGPT's been telling a lot of lies lately.
Oh
They
yeah.
probably, when ChatGPT first came online, the Christians was like, when do we get raptured? And they said the
Well,
23rd of September.
well, think about that. Think about that. Would you actually want to have something tell you the truth?
No,
No.
that's like being told you're going to die on
Yeah.
this day. Oh my gosh.
You never
No,
would have thought
like,
in a million years I'd be seeing technology being blended in with demon activities. Never would have thought this. Never.
oh, people
Mm.
are dumb.
We, I tell you, I mean, but just looking at what's happening now, it's there are some decisions we individually need to have to continue to make, and at the same time, like Kara said earlier, hey, you praying for your families. It seems like your prayers are falling on like a deaf ear or whatever. But when it's all over said and done, we got to continue to press on. We must
Hmm.
press on. We seeing what's happening, and you don't know how Yah will work this out. If He wakes him up,
Hmm.
well, ain't no if. He said he's going to wake his people up. And it seems like they'll be everybody's going to be woken up to a decision. What was that scripture, Karis, you was telling me about, and Daniel talking about some are woken up to life and some are woken up to judgment?
Yeah, Daniel chapter 12, verses 1 through
Yeah,
4.
yeah,
Everlasting life and some to damnation.
Yep.
right. You know, and
Shame
that's the
and
awakening.
damnation. Hmm.
Yeah, that's the
That is the
awakening.
awakening. That is
So
the
it mean,
awakening. That's it.
you know, and so I mean, I'm like, and that's he woke you up to make a decision. That's all. That's the way I look at it. He woke you up for you to make a decision. You've been living this long now. You're seeing things going like this here, and everything that if you got 1 ounce of scriptural knowledge, he going to use that for your benefit. And this is going to be a personal decision. When I say a personal decision for the fathers, the mothers that's out there, your decision could either make you or break you, and not just only you. If you got kids and you make that bad decision, what do you think gonna happen to these kids? Your kids, they're gonna go right along with you
Hmm.
because your decision will affect your family. I mean, if you like a husband and wife said, "No, me and my wife is not going to do this here," all right, it's just not you and your wife. It's just you and your immediate family. You put them up under judgment. What happened with Achan when he stole all that stuff from that city when he was supposed to, and some of the Israelites died in battle? They came and got him, and they killed him and his family because the family said, "We are standing with our father." Okay, they went right along with him too.
Well, that's where they
So
went wrong, isn't it?
yeah, but
That's like saying I'm with stupid.
right, where we're seeing things transpire that comes and goes. Now, they said France then left Niger. France then left Niger. Um, I don't know what in the world is going on with the states here. Truthfully, I mean, it's just like they just I don't know. They just walk around in circles. And at the same time, this is what September. 2 weeks from now, be October, and they talking about. I mean, they talking about instituting not a shutdown, a stay in,
Hmm.
and all of this stuff here, man. My thing, I'm very, very cautious of what they are trying to institute upon us because, truthfully, I think this is their last ditch effort as to um, trying to affect us in the worst way. That's just my take on it. And this is the reason why, I talk to my friends and things, not like, look here, man, go to the website, look up QTUA and and things of that nature, and you'll understand what we are trying to do. Um, because things are not what you think it is, and it's sad though, because when I go into these people's houses, and I'm talking about brothers and sisters, it's always some stuff on TV, some drama, like not Spring. What's that show? You are not the father and all that stuff. What's the name of the
Maury.
show?
Maury.
Maury. Oh, something that is dramatic that got
People
your
still watch
attention.
that.
Girl, please.
They
I'm
watch it
just,
with a passion out here.
I'm serious. And you realize how the world got them sunk, just got them into something. So now something is going to happen. I mean, they got, football. They got our people mentally occupied and deceived at the same time.
Why do we love drama so much? There's something that I've always wanted to know why we, in particular,
Mhm.
love drama so much.
Yeah, think about it. when our forefather was in Israel, not Israel, Egypt, they were dramatic. I mean, y'all had to say, hey, these are little stiff necked people. You know what I mean? They were just flat out dramatic. All right, take care, man. And I think, well, our history just keep on going and going, it seems. And then you do have those ones who is not, who choose not to live that type of way. They like that, keep everything calm. If I'm going to learn, I like to learn in peace. But you got some that they always up in arms, ready to fight, so defensive, and unfortunately, that's some of our people. Very defensive. I mean, you can say, "Hey, how you doing?" They were like, "What you mean by how I'm doing?" They ready to fight me about.
That just reminds me of what's his name, Joe Pesci in say the Good Godfather, I can't remember.
Goodfellas.
Goodfellas, that's
yeah.
it. God, my brain is not with it today, man. But yeah, like just chill, rest, and stop getting so hot. I mean, when it's time to get hot and bothered, then yeah, but all the time, it's like I don't understand some people who they can constantly watch things like what's that stupid show at Real Housewives of Atlanta
Yeah.
or whoever
Yeah, that's
or
it.
the I don't know that. So they did the men ones. I'm like,
Oh, they
oh
did.
man,
All right.
why would you do that?
Yeah, the husbands of Hollywood. I think I don't know. I think
Yeah,
that was just a parody.
it was like it was the most ridiculous thing. It's like, yeah, I get it. It was probably a parody, but it's like, it just felt so entrenched in feminine energy. Like they tried to put that on the men. And it was like, why are you doing this? Why? I don't see no other, there was no Real Housewives of I don't know, Kansas or something like that. Do you understand what I'm saying? They're not going to do that with theirs.
No,
But
they
for
need to do
some
a show
reason,
of broke brothers and things, reality. They ain't gonna do that.
what, broke? Did you say broke brothers?
No money.
I thought you meant something else.
Oh no, no, no. Oh girl, no.
No,
No.
don't do that. Leave that mountain alone.
Yeah, you ain't joking now. Well, anybody trying to do that one now? I'm talking literally they pockets, how they
I
live in it.
I thought you meant for them, for their people. If they're gonna do something, it'll be that. But like, ain't nobody trying to see that at all.
But I mean, this is what they pushed out in order to keep us occupied, And then in the sad thing, we are keeping the world occupied. We entertain the world. We, we got this, now you got Asians around here walking with a swag. You got white boys walk around here walking with a swag, talking a slang language. We have influenced the world so much till we are a problem in the world, and we doing the work the devil should have been doing. We are out there, and they put this, what did they put money out there in front, like we was talking about the housewives. It's all about us, somebody's status in life. They sitting around drinking champagne or some like at 10 o'clock that morning, and then they want to make sure they looking all dapper and everything. This is the illusion that they're feeding our people, and we thinking that, hey, I want to live like that, but you just don't know the demonic side to that. There's a very strong demonic side of their lives. They're not going to show you. Some people talked about it in entertainment and how they walked away from it, but there's a demonic side to that that is so deep. It is unbelievable. I was into the music business very briefly, and me and the alphabet people, but these was brothers. Um, I mean, but they talked the same language like the regular brothers on the street was talking. When that we did that one song, wrote the song, produced, had this guy to sing the song, um, and they liked the song, and then that's when their offers came out. And me and this other guy, I was like, man, you crazy, huh? And at this time, I was working for AT&T. I said, I'm straight. I said, nigga, I don't get down that way. And I gave that song and everything else to the other brother. I was like, man, y'all can have this. He didn't do it either, but he was trying to find other means of getting around it. And he never realized. He called me back some years later, said, man, Mike, I tried to go around. He said, man, the song just flopped. You know, after 6 months, if you don't get it on there, it's no good. Which, he was, I knew exactly what he was talking about. But he realized himself how dirty and tainted the entertainment field is. And that is the devil's nectar. You cannot go in there thinking you go clean up entertainment and politics. That's his world. I don't care how honest and how strong and how faithful you think you're going to be. You're not going to go into the devil's den and think you're going to clean his place up. It's not going to happen. And so I tell young brothers and sisters, just stay away from it. You ain't got to go in there and show the world that you can sing. Do it for your local friends and things. But the world feed this money, the material possessions, and I think when we really got into it, I mean, when I say we, I'm talking about young blacks rappers. No, they had women around there shaking with no clothes on, throwing out money and everything. Our people took it to a whole different level. That's what we did. We took it to a whole different level. And then at the same time, we still wanted to be respected for it. And some went above that. They just kept going up, climbing that ladder until they eventually met the devil himself.
I don't like today's music, man. It just creeps me out.
Yeah, but this is the thing.
It's horrid.
We are wakening up, and the thing is, I have seen, and I heard the prayers last night, and truth be told, there's a lot of hurt out there. There is a lot of hurt among Israel. Israel is trying his best to maintain their faith in Yah. The devil, on the other hand, he's right there in between you and Yah, making you want us to attempt to feel you're not worthy. You know good and well you come out of the world. You was a hoe. You was a drug dealer. You was a pimp. That's all you go amount to being. And so now you got this mentality in our brothers and sisters that's falling short. They're thinking they falling short. And I would tell any brothers and sisters, you keep on pressing towards Yah. He know exactly what the devil is doing. He knows. Brother, those prayers last night, they was encouraging. And at the same time I was listening, I said, oh man, there's a lot of hurt out there. There's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of hurt amongst our brothers and sisters. And that's when I'm very adamant about this. When the scripture says, deal with your brother according to knowledge. And it's not that I'm being passive, but there's a lot of forgiveness that we're gonna have to practice. Because a lot of things that has happened to us was orchestrated by the devil. And he knows if this continues to happen to him, they're gonna be messed up mentally. I'm going to try my best to damn and damage these people. The devil, I don't know what, I mean, whatever he's talking about, because y'all know exactly what he can do. It doesn't phase him. All the thing that's phasing him is that you are messing with the apple of his eye.
Mhm.
That's the thing that is phasing him. And this is the reason. I mean, those prayers last night, Karis, good night, man. I'm like, oh man, good. I was like, wow. And I mean, I was happy to see you and what was his name, Pastor Rick, or was it Kelly or something? You had another brother on there last night.
Fletcher.
What say it again?
That was Pastor Rick Fletcher.
Oh yeah, him. Okay, yeah. It was two brothers, wasn't it? I mean, just you and him, right?
Just him and I.
Yeah. And so my encouragement is this. And for the brothers that's in the chat, that's on this channel, brothers, let us all stand up, because trust and believe. The time is here. You're not going to have just me and Karis, brother Kevin Scott, Big Red, Mike Roebuck, Garth. No, we need more brothers. We need more brothers to stand up and start taking the lead. It's here. It's right in front of us. Yeah, you know you Israel, you know you Judah. We need you brothers to come up and let's all come together. And let's get that one line of thought. This is what we need to do as a nation that is still in captivity. This is what we need. Now, the sisters coming in praying, all hats off to them, all blessing and honor. But truthfully, should have been more brothers on that channel praying. Because this is what the sisters need to see. They need to see brothers standing up. They need to see, they want to have this mentality. We got the brothers standing in front of us in the event something happened. And that's the way it's supposed to be. The sisters, truthfully, do not supposed to get hit. It's supposed to be the brothers who get hit first. But Satan knew, he knew exactly who he need to feminize first. I need to break these niggas down here. That's what he knew. He knew, and he practiced it. He practiced that. He went through all type of scenarios of breaking these black men down, separate them from the family, have that little boy child against his own father. Why do you think he put so much effort in only on one set of people to disrupt? And the moment we start waking up is the moment he started winding his tail, his serpent tail, because he knew Yah has turned his attention back onto his people. He got us put in place to do his will.
Mike,
I'm sorry.
Sorry to bother, but to interrupt you, but you know what the funny thing is that is all turning on to them. Everything that you had just mentioned, it's all turning on to them. Their fabric of their family dynamics is just being ripped to tatters and being ripped to shreds. It's so bad that they don't want to tell you how bad their drug epidemic problem is.
We're getting it over here now. Fentanyl's over here, like in huge numbers. And it's with them.
You're right, because I was looking at the one in, was it Philadelphia?
Yeah, Philadelphia. Yeah,
you're right. And but and I'm not putting the brothers down, because I mean, in no way am I putting the brothers down. No, not one red cent. And you're right, but they're not going to televise that. They would televise
Oh
me and
no,
you.
yeah,
Yeah, they'll put us out there like,
but
oh shoot, shooting it on out
and
there.
that's what it see this is what we're talking about, ignoring the inevitable, because remember everything that's going on with them is not televised, but they
Hmm.
know it, and because it's not televised, it's like the television has to give them the incentive factor of our factor. It is, well, if it's not on TV, that means it doesn't exist, and that's the problem. This is why when I say when this place gets invaded, and I say when I truly do mean when it gets invaded, right? It's not going to be an invasion as what people think, because people won't see it on the TV. It
The
will not be on
invasion
the,
will not be
it will
televised.
not be televised. So people are just going to
Mm.
be like, oh, they're going to be looking on out, and next thing they know, it's going to be some like, person with a Korean, you know, name tag on, or something in Arabic, which is Farsi, which for Iranians that's what they speak. I think Farsi, right? And they'll be knocking at your door, or the police officer will be there, and then the one person will be in the background. What is this, officer? What's this all about? We're making rounds because we want to make sure that folks, see our new community patrolling officers, right? They'll call them
Hmm.
patrolling liaisons or something like that. Uh, but is that North Korean? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's a new. As long as it is not on TV, everything's fine. As long as the entertainment is still there, everything's good. And it's so funny, but it's so sad at the same time that that's what you can see. People will be
Yeah.
so enthralled with, all of these dummy programming, that you would literally have people change management in the blink of an eye overnight, as long as internet still is on, as long as Netflix is still going on, as long as Amazon Prime and things of that nature are still happening. They don't care.
Ask yourself if Amazon and all these other ones aren't moving location and their headquarters are going to be somewhere else because they know what's coming. It's like, where are your rich people now? They're leaving.
Yeah, yeah, they're trying to get to the crew. They're trying to get going, because things are now happening in Europe, and they're gonna be very they're gonna I'm gonna mute you a bit,
I
Michael.
hope that's a tap,
Yeah, they're
a
gonna be.
glass of water.
That's why I said I was gonna mute him.
I'm sorry, I'm being so silly. I'm not well, so
I lost my concentration on that too. What was I saying again before the flush? No, I'm just
you can't hide nothing from me. Rojo should know this as well.
That was not a flush. And it just dawned on me too. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I can't even wash my face now.
No.
nope. What?
Mm. I said, Carrie, let me tell you something. You're a bad influence because now here you got Sister Chantel, and now you got Sister Shar. I give you that. You took Big Red. I mean, good night, man. Now you got this sister here now. Mm-mm.
I'm feeling kind of hot now.
Oh boy,
What were
brother.
you saying, Karis?
Well, I look at it like this. This will be like the most strangest invasion that we'll ever see. It'll be like how the Medes and the Persians came into Babylon. The same
Mm.
exact way. I kid you not. Because I can
Yes.
see the whole setup. It's going to be like overnight. Oh, that's what happened. But when that happens, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to realize that it's happened, because people are going to be like, well, what's happening? How come my rights are being diminished? Don't worry about your rights being diminished. We're in a wartime setting. But what do you mean we're in a wartime setting? You see what I'm saying? It's going to be
Mhm.
very, very interesting to see how this thing goes.
As you said, it's going to be just like how ancient Babylon was taken. And you see the drying of the Euphrates, right? When we look in Bible prophecy, when it talks about water, it talks about the water is people's tongues and, so on and so forth. And it's like, it's so funny because as you see that in the spiritual um, element in which we're seeing it, we're seeing the waters drying up by a whole heap of people shifting away from Babylon. She has literally had her waters dried up. Like all these people, like I said, waters represents peoples, nations, tongues, and tribes. All these people have now shifted away from Babylon, where Babylon sat on many waters because she influenced so many people. So many people now don't want to have nothing to do with her. Now you're seeing the emergence of this new power coming on the horizon. Well, it's not even on the horizon, is pretty much here. It's just not. It hasn't been given. It hasn't had the opportunity to properly introduce itself, but it's pretty much here, you know. But she's dried up. She is literally dried up, and she is about to be entered by the Persians, who's coming, or the Medes, which I still like. Listen, man, I still feel like the Trojan horse. You let all these people, the Afghans, who a lot of them are descended from the Medes. You've allowed these people to come up into your country, and now you know these people are going to turn on you. Plus, you've got the Chinese. You've got you've got all those immigrants from the southern border, from South America. Um, it's just America's just a mess. She's letting everybody and everything in. She really is a whore.
Well, and that's why, look, these folks are coming on over in droves there on the border, right? And now it's funny. Mexico's saying we're going to let you in. We're going to let them all into the United States, but we're building up the wall so you all don't come back out, right? So that to me it's the ultimate like prison plan. you know, it's not that folks are going to want to come into America. It's going to be a time that folks will not be able to leave America. And that to me is, are we at that time? Think about what's getting ready to happen with the dollar. If you don't have money or wealth, then where is your dollar? How can you even move? How can you even operate? Those are things that they don't want to talk about. Well, my dollar's still good here on the continent, or in the United States, or maybe in the UK, and maybe I can fly to the UK where the dollar's honored. But as soon as we get out of Europe, you know what I'm saying? They'll say, "Hey, trips to Africa are like $10,000. Who can afford $10,000 round, one way flight?" You know what I'm saying? So then things are going to be very um, uh, restricted, and we may see those restrictions coming on board. I look at it because we're in a strange anomaly, right? We're in a strange anomaly or paradigm for the most part. We don't really have the wealth that we think that we have, and the people that have the wealth don't think that they're as rich as they actually are.
Yes.
Yeah, that paradigm gets steeper and steeper by the day. That's what I feel like. It's like, yeah, I mean, just for me, we're all probably not doing the best financially, but is it going to matter? And the people who are doing better than us financially think they're not doing good financially, but they're thinking long term while we're thinking short term. So
You
that's a
know
good
what
thing.
I say to all of that, though? I say, hallelujah. Let them. Let them. As the Most High said, let them come up in Joel. Right? Listen, the way I see you're saying how it might come up, it might, flights to Africa might be 10,000. For whom? For whom? I couldn't care less. Let them put it up. Let them whack it all the way up. I don't care, because when the Most High, you people think you're going to stop the Most High from bringing His people back? Good luck. Good luck. Just the same way they thought that this would. Did you ever think in their wildest dreams they thought that France would lose the whole of Sahel? Remember a little while ago I said all that needs to happen is Chad. When Chad's gone, that's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Because the whole of it's gone.
Mhm.
Your plan of ever trying to get those resources or even that oil to get it anywhere, even if they thought, okay, we could slightly deviate it from uh into Chad and then like that one, that's going to cost something that none of them can afford to do that now. That was their last chance. But if they could, that's not going to happen. But I'm starting to think to myself, why is that ship there from here? You
Mhm.
know, what would they be trying to sneak some oil out at the back? Just something to think about.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they're gonna try and go into Nigeria because the pipeline is busted. Yeah, that's exactly what they're gonna try and do. They're gonna try and go into, either the Ivory Coast or other places. Because that's just, don't think that they don't have contingency plans. They have contingency plans. And now think about this. See, Europeans are real nasty to each other. They don't care. They care about just
Yeah,
making a dollar. Literally, they care about making a dollar. So now the UK can be like, "Hey, y'all want some of this oil there, Europe? You want some of this oil there, France? You want something to pump right there in the Calais?
Hunger
Then
Games.
yeah, that's exactly what it
Yeah,
is.
exactly.
We're gonna Hunger Games with the European
I
nations.
mean, I
Yeah.
mean, you're dealing with the serpent seed. I just said these people are like a brood of dragons. They're dragons, and what are reptiles like? They will crack their brothers and sisters' eggs to climb out of the nest.
Hmm.
They don't care. That's what reptiles are like.
And man, France, my mom had to remind me how much like France has like destroyed the Caribbean, not only Africa. France has been really like they are. I used to
They're
think, well,
disgusting.
I used to think it was like the British. Well, the British did do a number on us, but France is just like on another level.
Hmm. Yeah, the French were always those group of nations. And remember, the French would always try to outsource their wars to folks, which is why you probably see what's getting ready to happen. They're going to pull back because they're not going to want to try to fight. My question is going to be, if they're going to pull back, who's going to be pulling up?
Mm,
Is it the Brits then that pulled up? Is it the Brits that are going to be outsourced through Nigeria?
that's what I was thinking.
You know what I'm saying? Is that something that we'll be seeing? And will that tragically fall apart? And we know it's going to tragically fall apart, but how bad will it be? Because here's the thing: the Western news outlets won't show the defeat, but guess what? The African nations will, and they'll gladly show those defeats. They'll gladly
Oh
drag
yes,
them
they
along.
So are
will.
Al Jazeera and RT.
Yep. Yeah. Al Jazeera and RT, yes, they definitely will be
Yeah.
showing that.
Oh, they will be happy to show it.
With great news, I'd like to announce that the United States has
Yeah.
officially lost the resource war.
Yeah.
Oh, and India as well.
Well, yeah, Al Jazeera will have a special, right? Inside the line special, or the
First post as well. First post.
yeah,
He
first.
has
Hey,
breaking
what's her
news
name?
on it.
What's it?
This is
Palki
breaking news
Shima.
from
She
United
don't hold
States.
back. She don't hold back, and I'm glad
Yeah.
she left. What's it? What was that? We
We
on?
on, we on, yeah.
Are you
When I didn't
talking
see
about
her
the Indian
anymore, I was
lady?
like, Yeah, Palki Sharma, that's her name. When I didn't
Yeah.
see her again, I was like, yeah, she ain't bowing down.
Yeah,
She can't.
and she took all her audience to first post.
She did.
All her audience, like we
Oh,
all know
you're
you
over
got.
there? Okay, we're going
Yeah,
over there.
yeah. It's because she lights the West on fire.
She does, man. I
And
like watching her. It's always a joy.
I'm so for me, I'm still trying to figure out this whole Canadian, the Can India riff
Oh
and what
yeah,
that those implications.
is somebody going into a corner shop? That just sounds like a
Yeah,
I think
quickie
he just
mart
muted it. I think it was bro Mike. But
for
yeah,
that Michael.
I saw a little bit of my man Canadian prepper. He was recapping Justin Trudeau's speech, and like again,
I
it was
don't know what anything that man says, if I'm going to be honest. Justin
he
Trudeau.
looks so evil.
He does, doesn't he? Evil. It's like he looks like the Stewie of all the nations.
He looks like
He's just
a clone of
yeah,
evil.
he does. He does, man.
But anyway, he was
Uh,
just doubling down on the Ukraine and he's talking about democracy, all those buzzwords. And what meanwhile also what you mentioned that he honored like well I can't say that word the dude who served the Third Reich, right? That's better.
yeah, exactly. But if you understand all their key words and symbolisms, it's funny because all the African nations literally talked about like, look, your democracy is just a puppet show, and people are getting played by the puppet master with the key words of democracy. I mean, like, um, Guinea was going in, so was Mali and Burkina Faso. They were
Burkina
going in.
Faso, man. Mm.
Yeah, they were going in. It's like, look, and everybody can see it. It's just that it's the very first time that they were now talking about it, and they were talking about it openly of, how their democracy, see, their brand of democracy is imported as a submissive tactics. Because why? Because when you're in a resource constrained environment, oh, okay, here's democracy. Here's the person we want you to vote for, and here's the person we're going to put money behind, and that's your only choice. That's that's not democracy,
Yeah,
that's wickedness.
That's just
Because you're
that's a
not allowed.
dictate.
coup d'état.
That's
Yeah,
That's just
choosing.
like a
That's
that's just like
it's a, yeah, it's a
a
it's a
form of coup
glorified,
d'état.
yeah, it's a moment of a dictator.
I was
Instead of
gonna
the
say, it's
instead of
choose your dictator.
dictatorship, it's now an accept of a dictatorship. Dictatorship by acceptance or dictatorship by force? Well, which one? And that's what you get what I'm saying? And that's where it's like, you people can say democracy, but this is the very first time that they're actually qualifying. Look, we don't have the resources, and then you're pushing somebody in front of us that you all push in front of us as your leading candidate, knowing that whoever we try to have for the people, they're going to either number one be shot or killed or not have the finances to even. So that's your democracy. And here's the thing, ding, 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 democracy tactics that they use for us. Same
Karis,
thing.
your internet keeps
We're pressed
coming in and out.
together.
I think.
Yeah, I'm
Did
going
you hear
out.
me?
Sorry. Yeah, I'm going out.
Yeah.
Judah and Ephraim were pressed together.
Hmm.
But I mean, who do we think? I mean, I don't know. My opinion is, well, I guess Judah is spread out all over, but I guess Ephraim would be on the continent.
Hmm.
But there's so many other tribes that we don't even know where they are, or well, not gonna say don't know where they are, but they're intermixed.
Well,
But I,
you have to. Well, in the scriptural context, right? Ephraim was what? The house of Israel that pulled away.
yeah, well, yeah, I was about to say in that instance, Ephraim would be the whole house of Israel. And
Israel. That's correct. That's what's made reference. Now, don't get it twisted. They know who they are and where they come from on the continent. Don't get it twisted. The other folks that always visits in the black hats, they know where folks are at on the continent. Do not get that twisted. They
Yeah, it
want
even
to
says it
put a
in Sanhedrin 94a, I think it is.
yes, yes. I wasn't gonna go there, but yes, you gave the
what's
reference.
that Voldemort book?
Yeah.
So, yeah, but so don't act like they don't know. They go to those places, so they do know. And now those places are now rejecting the West, and if the West is rejected by nature, they're rejected. Do you get how this thing goes? If white supremacy is rejected by nature, they will become rejected. This
Yeah,
is the
because
most dangerous thing for them at this time. This is why they say, "Oh, folks in the diaspora, they're dangerous." Why are they dangerous?
I,
Because if we're
we're
saying
still talking about the 23 and 30. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, without going into specifics, yes. This is why, because why? They're listening to their brothers and sisters here. Why are we dangerous? Because we're House of Judah. Why are we dangerous? Because we know we're Zion. Why are we dangerous? Because the Most High has our Yahuwah is found in what? In they
Huh?
look to us. They don't look to them. If it was a black person and them, if it was and let me tell you, if it was an African American and one of them, guess what? They both look towards us. Well, I thought that
Well,
you two.
that's
No,
Why do you think that they spend so much money? Why they're over you in the music and everything
bingo,
else?
bingo. Micah just put that anecdote on out there because
Earlier, yeah.
they want our influence, and see,
Mm.
they're losing our influence. Would you rather have influence or would you rather have the truth? Let me just tell you now, the truth. People want the truth
The
because
days of influence are over now.
yeah, their lives are of no profit. There's no substance. This is why they're mad. This is why they had to say, "Oh, we're dangerous." Well, we're dangerous because why? Because we're exposing their lie.
We
That's
tell
the
the truth.
danger.
That's why.
Right? Why do the heathens rage? Because truth is coming out.
Truth is
And
coming out
then
exactly.
all those times you would like, all those times they try to gaslight you. All my friends. Well, I'm not gonna call them friends, but whatever, all the people I was hanging around with, and the times where I would be like, yeah, you don't know what it is to be black, and you you could tell me I'm a victim all you want, but you'll never walk in my shoes or understand my pain. And then they just shut up real quick.
I hate when they say things. Oh, you just got a victim mentality.
Well, yeah, I
What?
mean that's all they
Well,
do
yeah,
Yeah.
because in
because
their
you
world.
made me a victim. You
Well,
made
Yeah.
us a victim. Of course, we got a
that's a
victim
gaslight.
mentality,
That's a gaslighting tactic,
and
sis.
you got
Guess
an
what?
oppressor mentality.
Mhm.
You just are oppressors.
Yeah, you
Like
just
you're
don't live in
so.
reality.
Like what I had said though, and I've always mentioned this. How do you change that mentality? By taking away their things.
Destroying everything that they love, their
No,
money, their
you don't.
sports.
No, you don't have to destroy it. Look, they can have as much worthless cash as they want, right? You're just taking away the value. They always want
Mhm.
a value. Hey, was in this. Well, guess what? This car is better. This house is better. This land is better. These roads are better. This gold is better. Gold, or is it just gold plated?
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? When you take away their value, then it's something that limits their psyche. It is a psychological disturbance to them. Well, why do they have more stuff than me? Well, how come they have that? Yes, static of mind or static state of mind. It is a fragility mentality.
Well, it's the mentality of I'm white and I say so. That's what you're taking away.
And that's
Fear.
also, it's just like I realize a lot of them. I'm not gonna not make a generalization, but it's like it's weird because they like when they're around us, they're like, "Oh, your energy," like blah blah. It's like they don't know how to live without any of these things, or like they don't like then like their parents have never like I'm not gonna say their parents, well, just whatever influence or whatever I don't know in their culture. It just seems like they don't know how to exist with just self without things. You know what I mean? Like it's
Look,
just
Or
like
without
the-
us.
you get what I'm saying? We are. Here's the thing: we are the ultimate validators. We're the ultimate validators. Is this cool? What do you think? Is this? Yeah. All right. Kinda.
I'm going to
No.
bounce off of what you just said. I'm
You
going to
get what I'm
bounce off
saying?
of what you just said,
And then
Karis.
if we clown them and say that that thing is straight up stupid, and we start laughing at stuff and everything else, they get highly offended because why? Because when we do it, then guess what? They chime into it too
Hmm.
because we are the ultimate influencers. And when we chime in, they chime in. Like they'll take a style and it's like, that style was like 5, 10 years ago. Oh, I thought it was cool. Y'all made it cool once. Yeah, but we moved on to other things. you
but then
know?
again, like the fact that it's such a vain thing, it's not like, oh, Garth, I want to know more about you and your mind and like where your parents come from and like how you think and like your outlook on race relations in America. No, like, oh, Garth, what's the best song? Oh, who do you like? Who's your favorite rapper? Who are you listening to? And like, oh, where'd you get those shoes? Oh, I like those shoes. Like most vainest things they want our time and energy for. It's pretty funny, but
That's because that's all they are. Look. I'm going to say something that's going to be, yeah, I don't care. But anyway, what? Just
Well, this is my platform. This is my platform.
okay. All
I
right, all
can't
right,
I
right.
can't speak.
I'm not going to. It's not going to
You
be
can
thing, but it is
rephrase it.
something that's in the word. It's gonna be. It's in the words.
Just put
It's
it
in the words.
just just put it
Okay.
just put it in your best Paddington Bear British,
Monty
what is it,
Python.
Mr. Bean, Monty Python, Mr. Bean, you know.
Mr. P.
Nah, blood. You lot are making me hot and bothered. I ain't about that, man. I'm about Top
Yeah,
Boy.
you're gonna
I'm gonna keep it. I'm
you'll
gonna
be
keep
like
it street.
you're gonna be like
All right, bruv. Go ahead, bruv. Go ahead.
God,
Like,
bro.
watch it. Watch it.
Spit your
Watch it.
thing real
All right,
quick, bro.
All right, man. All
put it
right. Look, allow it, man. Let me speak. All right.
to the
So
ground,
here's what I'm gonna say.
ground truth,
You sound
fam.
like
Ground
somebody's.
truth.
You sound like somebody's holding your bottom lip, Karis.
I was doing that. I was actually holding my brow and look, trying to speak like a British person. British.
Man.
We don't pronounce. It's so amazing. We don't actually pronounce all of the letters in the
They,
word.
you
You guys do.
don't. You all
No,
don't.
we
Nah,
don't.
I'm like, yo, do you hear yourself? I was like, yo, it feels like when I was in speech class in third grade, and these are just the speech folks, like Stewie. It's like Stewie. You're going to pronounce all the syllables, all of these syllables.
Like I love when you guys would say things like when you're like Oxfordshire. You guys would say Oxfordshire. We no, we don't say that. It's Oxfordshire. Or even Caris, what's the main river of London?
The Times, Thames,
It's the Thames.
Thames.
The
They
Thames
Thames,
River.
like an
they
It's
artist.
spelt Thames, but it's actually pronounced Thames, the River Thames.
yeah, yeah.
But you think that's bad? You should look at how the Irish spell Siobhan.
Mm,
That's just weird. Or
mm.
even the what's it, the Welsh language? Don't even get me started. But anyway, I digress deeply. So what I was going to say though is the thing is, yeah, is that we're dealing with the people who the Most High knows who they are. He knows. Remember, He knows. We're dealing with the spirit of the patriarch, their first father, the the patriarchal father of that house, of that bloodline. And one of the things that I started to look into is that it's funny, those of you who have watched Stargate, I know if Jacob watching this, he knows what I'm talking about. Right. It's they tell on themselves. It's like you really have to watch carefully the films and the TV programs that they put out. Like, for example, when you read the scriptures and it talks about how, like, the Most High knows who he's dealing with as a people, the energy that you get in terms of they're always constantly asking you, well, what do you think? What's this? What's that? They always want to be around you. They have to latch on because that's their state. That's how they operate. That's the only way they know how to operate. It is a parasitical kind of relationship. That's what I wanted to say. The words parasite is not pretty, but it is. It's parasitical, right? It's a parasitical relationship, and the parasite, it feeds off of the energy.
Well, I would say this, Sister Chantel, just to, it's a symbiotic relationship to where one is,
Oh yeah, I forgot about that
I
word.
thought symbiotic relationships are beneficial though.
but it's not. And this
Well, there you go. So that's why it's called parasite.
I see
There's
what Brother
nothing.
Cass is
There has
trying
been
to do.
nothing. What did you say the other day? You said you've been too kind. Let's not backtrack. Let's keep it. Let's keep it linear. Okay.
So is it like a tapeworm parasite, or is it like, the worms?
It's just that friend that borrows something that never gives it back. Come on, it's not that bad.
Let's try to, can we qualify parasite, please? No, just
Well, like I said, it is for anybody that has seen Stargate SG-1, the Goa'uld, those are the parasites. They come and they bury themselves into the brain of the host body, and they take over. They become the gods. They it is literally them to a T. So I just, when you wake up and you go back and you watch that, it's like, wow, how did we not see this? And how did they put this out here? It's like it's almost like they have no choice but to continually write. To continue. Is that Michael?
Yeah, that's Mike.
No, it's not Michael. Who is it? Is it me?
No, that's me. I'm in my truck. I'm inside my van. This thing's so noisy at times. It's ridiculous. I'm putting myself on mute though.
Gosh, I lost my chain of thought now. First of all, it was the water. Now it's the truck things pulling. Like, Mike, if I didn't know you, bro, I think something was like heavy in that truck. Like you was disposing of something. If I didn't know you,
Mike, Covenant Awakeners is not responsible for any car accident occurred by you being on this live. It's like, do y'all remember the one dude that was on live and on an accident? You heard the that sounded really bad. Oh my goodness! I don't know if it was on here or on Tejo's platform.
where
Man.
anything can happen on these platforms, boy. Anything can happen. I can't even remember what I was saying now. Something about worms and
worms and symbiotic relationships.
You're talking
no,
about
I said
Stargate
parasitical
with Star Trek?
relationships.
You're talking
Stargate.
about
Listen, look. If you don't
Yeah.
know the genre, like seriously, don't confuse the two. Stargate is Stargate, and Star Trek is Star Trek.
And
Battlestar
Galactica is Battlestar Galactica.
That's right.
And Cylons are Cylons. And
That's right.
The reptilians. Oh my goodness.
And Data is Data.
Data.
His name's Data.
Data.
See, I actually pronounced it T. Data. Say water.
No,
Say water.
Water.
They say data.
Water.
They say
Water.
Data. Is it data? No T.
No,
Data.
we don't. We say Data. What is wrong with you?
Water.
No, it's actually water.
Water,
Wa- water, water,
water,
water.
water.
Well,
Oh no, Garth, you gotta you see that's that Central Jersey talk. You gotta have the South Jersey. It's water, water.
Water. Oh, the people are weird in South Jersey. Oh, Garth, you gonna go get a hoagie? What you
Yeah,
want,
you
hoagie?
gotta get a
Hoagie
Hogan from Wawa's.
and a pop? Yo, really? A pop? People
No, we
call
don't say
soda pop for real?
we don't say pop in South Jersey. We say
Oh,
soda.
well,
you guys
I
call
heard
it
someone
pop.
say pop. I heard someone refer to soda as pop, and I was like, what?
That's in the
What is?
Midwest. Yeah,
Oh,
that's in the
We say
Midwest.
that over here as well.
pop,
Yeah, but we don't say pop. We say pop in it. It's pop.
pop in it,
It's pop. Fizzy pop.
Listen,
fizzy.
listen. You can tell how healthy the UK is, and it's still like relatively unhealthy compared to like Europe. Like, like, like we went on over there. We went on over there to Nando's, and we got some like Sprite, and like the cups were like 12-ounce cups. I'm like, is this a drink?
Well, it was a
This is like a
bottomless. You
kid's
could
drink.
always go back up there.
It
Oh,
was
because
a drink. They made you work to have you know what I'm saying? We have like
in
20
this
ounce cups.
country,
Yeah.
we don't believe in dousing our citizens with copious amounts of sugar. We
Why
believe
not? We need at
in
least a 24-ounce gallon of soft drink. You can't go wrong with that, right?
A
Completely.
leader.
and
A
then you
leader.
guys wonder why these people will stand up with all their twitchy eyes and everything and start pulling out certain things and start going pew pew.
Yeah. I
Too
saw
much
like
bad food.
Sister Chantel had brought her son a McDonald's kids meal. And I'm looking at the kids meal. And she said, "Yeah, I buy him too." I said, "No wonder." I said, "If I bought my son a kids meal and it looked like that, he would he he would be like, Dad, what's the matter with you? I eat a little bit more than this." Oh my goodness, yo, that hamburger was like 2 or 3 inches in diameter. I said, is that a hamburger snack?
Oh, you do lie,
It's a
don't you?
slider. It's slider.
No, we don't have
That
food
was
like
Garth, that's exactly what it was. It was a slider. I'm like, I'm just thinking, I'm like, don't y'all get a 2-for-1 on that? It's like that's not even a proper meal, fam. That's not even proper, fam.
Fine, I need a proper burger, but the proportion isn't sufficient, isn't it? I need a bigger proportion.
It's just because
well, at least we know what we're eating is prime beef. What do you guys
are
eat?
you sure? Are you sure? Do you just remember that video you just showed us?
Well, one thing I know that before they do anything anywhere, they first experiment on you.
Yeah, that is true. So
That is
Yeah.
true.
that
You can
is
tell,
why
right?
that is
That's
why
why
I
we don't
haven't.
pronounce words.
That's no wonder I have an arm growing out of my neck.
Well, when you get hot, you can always fan yourself up
I
there,
can
innit?
exactly. Helps to keep the hat on when I'm in a windy
When it's
condition.
oh, you beat me to it. You beat me to it literally, but not even a second. I was just about to say wit, and you said it. Ah.
That means that Americans are more wittier than the British.
Oh, don't even. Don't even.
Yeah, I mean, they copy us. They wish they could speak American
They
like
wish
us.
exactly. We're
No,
now
we
changing
don't.
it to American and see. Here's the funny thing: is black people saying this, so now white people are gonna fall in line. Do you know what black people are saying? They changed the language to American instead of English. Here comes Webster's American Dictionary.
Webster's
No,
American
no,
Dictionary.
darling. It's Oxford Dictionary. It's the Oxford Dictionary.
Oxford. Okay, well, Oxford American Dictionary.
No,
Merriam.
Oxford Dictionary. Oxford English Dictionary.
Oh no, it's Merriam-Webster on this side of the pond. It's Merriam-Webster. Yep, that Oxford stuff. That's we're talking about cattle, Hereford, Oxford.
Hmm.
But yeah, no, I understand. I knew that that you all separating from the EU a couple years ago was going to take its toll. So they were just I was like, man, they literally are rationing this food like it's World War II on out here.
No, we always eat like that.
Yeah, like y'all have ration food. I'm looking at these folks on out there. I said these folks are beyond skinny.
We're
They're
not
beyond skinny.
skinny.
Yes, you
No,
all
we're
are.
not. No, we're
Yes,
not. We're
That's not a
we
bad thing. Don't. That's not a bad thing. Don't let him shame you for being skinny.
no, no,
I'm
no,
not.
no,
I'm
I'll
not
no,
take
saying
it.
no.
like we're not beyond skinny. We're just, and I feel like I can lose a pound or two or more, a whole more.
Generally speaking, them white folks on over there, they look like
Skinnier, absolutely.
yeah, they look like that old school actor DJ Qualls or something from back in the
Nah,
day.
DJ
nah. So,
Qualls
yeah.
from Hustle and Flow.
Exactly, exactly.
No, I've got to
And
say, like
it's
you
hot
need
out
to
here.
see
It's
you
hot
need
out
to
here,
some
man. Hey, listen,
see
man.
you took the
Hey,
sights. You
listen,
was looking
Mike.
in central London. You was looking in central London. You needed to see some of the other European, the English down here, because trust me, they're not. Some of them are looking like roly poly olies, man.
Oh yeah,
Some of them are getting a bit tonk and a bit. They got a bit of girth around the middle, innit?
yeah.
So
See, listen, I seen some of them walk on the plane. They look like some oversized plush pillows. Wait,
Oh
wait,
are
man.
wait,
those are the ones that we call
look,
what do
look,
we call them
look,
again? Chavs.
look,
You lot have your
look,
what do you call them?
look,
Rednecks. We have chavs.
look. I don't know
Chavs?
what it is.
Yeah, chavs.
Listen. I don't know what it is about them Brits, but they really do look like some oversized plush pillows with nothing but feet.
Marshmallows.
What was that? Yo, what was that Nintendo video game back in the day with that little pink monster that could float and stuff?
Not Kirby.
Kirby,
Not is it not
Kirby?
Kirby? That's it. Kirby
yo,
with the
Kirby?
pink feet.
You're saying British
oh,
people look like Kirby?
yo, that's
No,
it.
no, no,
No.
no. He's saying English people look like Kirby, and he ain't wrong. Let's
English.
not get it
English.
twisted. See, when I
British.
say American people, when I say American, I know you guys know who I'm talking about. Let's not
Yeah.
get it twisted.
Yeah.
Let's
We're not here to
let's
trigger people. We know what we're
let's
talking.
keep it respectful on both sides here, because
Yeah, and then I'll be courteous in dealing with you and the British people. Don't worry
you've
about
been
it.
watching Top Boy a bit more, haven't you?
No, I haven't. I haven't been watching no Top Boy, blood. This is my accent. This is how I talk. This is the real golf.
He, he,
What? Did you say Garth or Goth?
It's the real golf. People don't pronounce the th for my name. It's just golf.
God, why do you
Yeah,
sound like
actually,
you
some they
sound
would
like
say,
you
yeah.
biting
When you
your
say
tongue?
Garth, you're right. You're right, Brethren.
Literally, all my family calls me Garth. They barely pronounce the th.
Yeah, you won't pronounce the th. It'll just be Garth.
Golf.
As it, yeah, Garff. Garth. You don't deserve the th.
Literally,
You're
I'm not
getting
even
you're
joking.
getting the
That's
f.
literally they only pronounce the th when they're really mad.
Gar,
Garth. Oh, you're in
Gar,
trouble.
Garfunkel, come here, Garfunkel.
Oh, Garfunkel, Garfield, Simon and Garfunkel.
So, what is your full name? Is it Garfield?
It's Garfield. It's Bartholomew the Third
Gartholomew.
Esquire.
Gartholomew.
And no, I'm just joking. No, it's just Garth.
Just Garth.
He's from the island.
Garth.
He's from the Caribbean, so he has like 5 or 6 names.
Nah, it's just Garth. Well, yeah. I mean, they. I'm not gonna say what they call me. They call me like as a nickname. I'm not gonna say it because that's
Hey, boy.
embarrassing.
Hey, boy, get over here.
Too much, boy. No, don't even. Yeah, you try to sound like my aunt or my mom or something. Stop that.
It'll be
Giving me
like
PTSD.
Garfield Ashley, come here, Garfield Ashley. What is going on?
Garfield. And it's like Got. My dad used to call me Got.
Metal, Godfrey Metal.
God.
Come here, Godfrey Metal. You know, all of them words that black people don't call themselves here in the United States. No, Ashton. Like what?
I actually had a black friend in high school named Ashton. He was one of the other few blacks in school too, as well. Ashton. His last name was
Ooh,
actually Jackson too, and that's not a coincidence. Now I know that a lot of us
Ashton.
have those names. Yeah.
Listen,
My
I thought
grandma,
my name was bad. They would have.
my grandma,
Did they
God
call
bless her
they,
soul, she wanted
they,
me to call
was
my
it
son
Ashy?
Cuthbert.
Did they call him Ashy for short?
Nah. No, just called him
They
Ashton.
they call him Lotion. Yo, give me that lotion, Ash. Your name is Ashton, right? So we just gonna call you Lotion because you know that Ash be tracking you everywhere, huh?
Man, you just used to make fun of kids, didn't you? You probably make fun of my name. You used to call me
Oh,
They used
listen,
to call me
listen, listen,
Garth Vader. Garth Vader was the biggest one, but I embraced it, so I didn't care.
listen,
Yeah,
listen,
what's not to embrace? That's cool.
listen. My mouth. Listen, I told you, I had to go to high school with a bunch of white folks when I lived in Kansas City. And let me tell you, you think I'm bad now? Oh my good, I literally had no filter. People wanted to fight me every single day when I was, yeah, I knew how to
When
get
you
under.
constantly open your mouth and
Oh,
say and let your
bro,
words just flow out with you.
I don't know what it was, but I would constantly get under the skin of white folks like all the time. Like I would say jokes. And you know what though? I had white folks like they were just dying. Other white folks were dying, just laughing. And then the person I may making fun of, Karis, I'm gonna beat you up. What type of name is Karis? Yeah. I said it's better than Robert. you know,
Uh,
Bob.
Bobby,
Oh my goodness.
how'd you get
Yeah.
Bob from Robert? You're
That's
right,
what they
Bobby.
call 'em. That's what they
Huh?
call him. No, that's yeah. Robert is Bob or Bobby.
Yeah, but why? Why the Bob? Why Bob?
I don't know.
Bob?
You should know. It's the English thing, isn't it?
I'm not
In it.
English, bruv. I'm not English.
It's
I
British.
was brought here against my
British.
You know, I'm stuck here in it. I don't want to be here anymore.
Yeah, seemed
Oh,
like you're bit in a pickle, in it.
yeah.
In
I
a
am in a
pickle.
pickle, mate.
Your little bit there, fam. What's going
Looks
on,
like
fam?
you got your knickers in a bunch.
Uh, oi,
Looks
oi,
like your
what's your mouth, young lad?
knickers are
What's your mouth? What did
I
you
said
say? You cut
knickers.
out
Knickers aren't those pants? Knickers?
pants. What, as in pants? What pants? What pants? As in trousers? What we call trousers? No,
What are I
did you
knickers
mean
get
are the ones
did
that
you
you
get
wear underneath.
did you get your trainers?
So when we
Did,
say don't
did
get
you
your
get your
knickers in
trainers
the
in the
twist,
puddle?
the trainers. Yeah, you guys call it sneakers. We call it trainers. Don't ask why. It just
Don't,
is.
don't, don't get the trainers in the puddle. Don't put your trainers in the puddle, fam.
Hey, who stepped on my trainers? Do you know what I love?
Oh my goodness.
There was this guy over here who had he got his hair cut and the barber took off like 5 inches off the front of his head. If you haven't seen it, oh my gosh, it is so funny. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh so hard. His reaction, he goes from he's like, look at what he's done to my hair. He took off 5, and I'm not going to say the rest of it because there's a lot of bleeping. But he just, the barber did take off quite a lot. It's like you could put like a hand and a half from where his hairline was made to his eyebrows. It's like, bro, you could put another face on there. It's crazy, but
They pushed his hairline back like George Jefferson. They gave him the George Jefferson hairline cut.
he
I
looked
remember,
he
I
He looked
remember,
like Tuvok, man,
I
from
remember,
Star Trek Voyager.
I remember the most ignorant joke that I've ever heard was that about the Benjamins. She said, "Boy, your hairline goes all the way back. You're saluting from the back of your neck." Oh, that still has me rolling. From the back of your neck. Like,
That's
man.
rude.
Oh my god. Yeah, no, 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 no. No, you gotta remember, our jokes here are vicious. Our joke, you understand? Our jokes here kill people.
Yeah,
Like I said, if y'all
honestly,
are
I mean, our jokes are
We don't
bad.
joke. We just cuss. We
no,
just
no,
cuss.
no, no, no. We joke. We go with vinegar. You get what I'm telling you? When I used to make fun of, the even my friends, I'll just make fun of my friends. They'd be like, "Stop laughing, Chad. That's not funny." No, that was pretty funny. Karen's got you. Oh, we would clown. We would definitely clown. And then um, Chad would go home and do drugs, and that's, I think I probably was responsible for a good portion of the opioids epidemic in the Kansas City suburb of Olathe, probably with all my jokes. I don't know, maybe.
Yeah, words mean things.
Words matter. Oh my goodness. They would say that. They would say that. And then black folks would be laughing at it like, "Are you serious? You can't take a joke?" "No, I can't. It's not a funny joke." And then we
But
joke.
they wanna do it to you, but once it's back to them, and they get all sad, and
Yeah, but this was back in high school. Yeah. I was I was that overboard kid. I went overboard, you
No, not
know.
really. No,
And my son, I'm like, you can't be joking like how I joke,
I
because
can't
I'll
imagine
still
that.
crack a good jokes. No, my son, my oldest is fine. It's my youngest. Oh, he has my personality and he jokes and he's bad at it. Bad in a good way. I'm like, yo, bad in a good way. I'm like, hey, son, you can't be saying that. But dad, that was funny. I said, I know it was funny, but that's gonna get you in trouble.
I
He's
know
like, I
it
don't
was
care. I'm like,
funny.
it's like, yeah, it's like in trouble with what? It's like with school. It's like, no, the teachers don't. It's like the teachers are fine with that. No, I said, no, it's not the teachers I'm worried about. I said it's the other kids that I'm worried about. And I said this. I said this. I said you can't joke like that. You could joke like that to black kids. You can't joke like that around white kids, because I told them this. I said, because when the white kids fight you and you beat them down, you're gonna be the one getting in trouble.
Hmm.
And I have to be. I'm dead serious. You know, because he's getting into that aggressive manner, playing football and all that other stuff. And in middle school, especially in middle school, that's where everybody fights, because you're getting those hormones on it, and you're beefing up, and you're bossing, and you want to assert your authority. And
Yeah.
I tell that to my son. I'm like, I get it. I know, you're 11 going on 31. I said, but you can't be, your jokes you're gonna talk to the wrong person. And the whole thing is that, number one, we're in Florida, and white folks in Florida, they are crazy. This is certifiable. Even it's certifiable when they say Florida man or Florida woman. I'm just saying.
Florida man, exactly.
I'm just
Florida man
saying.
exists for a reason.
It exists for a reason. I'm just saying it does exist for a reason. So, if you're a Gentile Floridian that's here, put a one in the chat if you agree.
Nah, that ain't gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen.
That
But
you think That's the one. That'd be the one where the one Gentiles puts a one in the chat that one
Yeah,
time.
yeah, brother, you're on it, brother. Yeah, that's right.
Hey, whatever happened to that Gentile that used to come in here and used to be telling you about such and such? I
Um,
remember it was before
I,
this war went on. I remember
I
you mentioning it.
yeah, I believe, I think he was a French troll, and he may have had his electricity cut off because of austerity measures. You know, just, oh, I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I'm terrible.
No, now you brought it back because now we could talk about France and this latest news. I mean, they're leaving Niger, and
Yeah,
what are the
austerity,
implications?
austerity. That's what I'm trying to
And just
tell you.
like that, there's the segue.
There it is. Thank you, Sister Chantel. I think your wittiness is catching up.
Yeah, it's a British. It's a British thing. It's a
Don't,
British thing.
don't do me like that. Come on, man.
No,
I
no.
must curate. Let me curate it. Let me curate this station and
Cheerio.
put it in the right context so everyone could get it.
You lot, I don't even know
Cheerio.
what to say.
They'll listen. They're gonna get one baguette and an 8-ounce cup of water.
Here in London, we will no longer be eating French fries.
What?
We will ban French fries.
If-
Ban anything French.
what if Garth? They're gonna have a baguette, and they only get like that little not Alka Seltzer. Oh, the little like Robitussin little cups of water where it's just like a little splash.
Yes, Robitussin.
I had a baguette earlier today, actually.
Yeah, well, you don't listen. Don't try to throw shade at the French, Chantel. You throwing some major shade at the French. I had a baguette. You're
I
talking
mean,
about it. You're talking about a family's meal for 2 weeks now.
yo,
Yes, and it was
Yeah.
delicious.
He's going there. Okay.
It was
I'm not-
delicious. It was rather nice.
I prefer croissants, but
Oh, that's too fancy.
Well,
That's too
and
bourgeois.
I like croissants. I like croissants as well, especially the ones with the chocolate in it. Oh, yes, darling.
Oh, that's real bourgeoisie. See now, Chantel, you're talking to him pre-August of 2023. Okay.
I do
Now,
like to push the boat out a little bit
now,
on occasion.
now post-August, these folks are looking around looking like La Revolution. You know what I'm saying?
They're going back to the days when they took out the Catholic Church, and that didn't go well for them.
Oh my goodness.
It was a very stinky time for them. That's why. Do you know that's why they came up with perfume?
Mm-hmm.
Because France stunk. That's why. Because they stunk.
Yeah,
Huh?
smell like ram goat. Like my grandmother used to say, smell like ram goat.
On a tink.
Well, you gotta. Well, I don't know if anybody really understood the history of France in terms of the Franks, the Visigoths,
Yes.
and other post Charlemagne constructs. So Charlemagne was basically commissioned by the Roman Catholic Church to basically bring the European element together. You had the Alemannia, German Alemannia, right? But it was something about France because France was really your Gallic, structure or empire, and they were really a buffer zone with the Vikings and things of that nature. But they were always very kind of wild in nature. That was kind of always their cue. Because remember, France was actually territory. England and France were a country for like 50 years at one point. And
Are you talking about the Vandals, Visigoths, Ostrogoths, Goths, Franks, Saxons, Lombards, Alemanni, and Macronomani or whatever?
Mhm.
Might be where Macron is from.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't understand that those are actual people groups. Those are actual tribes. They don't like to say
Yeah.
that their tribes are tribal, but they are. So when they see like, they'll say that they're French, they'll be like, "Oh yeah, you're French." But they know that that's not, their tribe. You know what I'm saying? They literally
What?
are like, it's not my, they're French, so they'll speak the language, they'll have the lingual structures, but it's like, oh no, you're more in the Basque
Are
area,
those
you know.
the Yamna people, whatever that I remember Gates of Holder did this study on the
Yes,
Portuguese and
yeah,
how a lot of them are
came down
different.
from the.
Are those the same? Like, because I remember at one point those people were fighting over Portugal and Spain in that area, correct?
Well, they were fighting over the whole of Europe, if we're going to
All of
be
Europe.
honest. But the
Okay.
thing is, yeah, because when they tell the history, they will say there was these 10 tribes that came from the north. Now they're right, but they're not right. See, they're very clever in the way they word it. See, they came from the north, but what they're not actually telling you is that they came from the north part, the north of like the mountains. They came from the mountain regions, but it's not the north of like they would make you believe that it's from Europe anyway. But no, it's the north, as in the Mount Seir, that place. That's where they came from, and then they spread out throughout the whole of Europe, and they went into north. They didn't come down from the north of Europe. They came from the Caucasus Mountains. So when they say they came from the north, they mean the north of the mountains. That's where they came from. And then they invaded, and I think 3 of them was uprooted. And this is also a part of prophecy, because I think it was the Vandals, the Visigoths, and the Ostrogoths. I think it was that was uprooted. They don't exist anymore as a tribe. They were either no, they don't. They were uprooted out. The others, I think it's the Huns.
Sister, Chantel, Sister
Yeah, go ahead.
Chantel,
Sorry.
um, there is a reference, Jasher. This is all in Jasher. This is all
Mm,
in Jasher. When they're talking about the how the Europeans, or basically Japheth, had come about in his tribes and his descendants. This is why they don't
mhm,
like to talk about Jasher, because Jasher tells on them. It tells on
mm.
how they went to become, Greeks, and what that derivative means, and other
Is
um, tribes of Europe. And you also have your tribal structures of Togomar, or your Asian tribes.
Mhm.
You're
So
talking
go,
about
sorry,
Kittim,
go ahead.
right? It's
Yes, yeah. So go ahead, Sister Chantel, because you're on the continent, and this is very good and pertinent information, especially with you being on the continent. We don't get a chance to really hear these type of historical things.
Yeah. So they basic. Ah, I'm good. Look, my phone is dying. Let me change phones. Give me a second.
Hmm.
da, 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 da,
And
da,
we've,
da,
we've
Oh,
been
da,
having
hold
da,
so
on.
da,
much.
da, 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 da,
We've been
da,
having so
da, da.
much fun.
Yeah.
I know.
Sorry, I managed to get the charger in just in time. So, yeah. So they came down from the mountainous regions, and when you watch the show Vikings, it's like it does tell you a lot
I
about
love that
the
show. Yeah,
history. Yeah,
because once in that whole
and they
time, because I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. I was just
no, go on,
saying
go on, go on.
because so was this before the Viking? Because I remember that whole area at one point was called Cambria and Anglia, all these other names
Anglia,
before
Cambrian, yeah.
Anglia, Cambria, and all that stuff. And from my understanding, the Vikings, who are actually Scythians, from what I understand, were fighting over that same land, but they were already Catholics, or they were fighting against the Catholics.
Yes, they were. Um, so you had the Scythians, but it's kind of hard because the thing is that as we know, they like to change their names, constantly changing their names, and then obviously where they intermarry as well. Like there's a lot of things that they will put this truth in there in certain films and TV shows, like, you know, even like with what was that film, that Viking film, that what's his name, Douglas, senior, the older Douglas.
Braveheart.
No, not Braveheart. That was
I
what's
know.
his face.
It was called the Vikings. That was literally what it was called. It was called the Vikings.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
and
it
they,
was,
yeah,
Michael. Is it Michael Douglas or it was one of those?
Mm.
It was his father.
Kirk Douglas. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they basically, they were showing how they would come and they would do their raising parties, and in order, at some point the Catholic Church, they saw that it was an issue, so they tried to Catholicize them like they did with everything, and they tried to bring them in, and the way that they did that was obviously by allowing them to marry their women, because before they allowed them, they were taking them anyway. So it was like,
They
well,
did
we
that
might
in
as
the
well
show
just,
on Vikings. Yeah, they did
yeah,
allow them to marry into the family just to, you know, cause, you know, for as a way of peace. But I think eventually they get rid of the Vikings out of there, or from, because I was watching the show, because actually it's interesting, because if you watch the show towards the end, the Rus are the tribe that's really dominant towards the end of Vikings. The Rus people, or the Rus, you know, the people, the same people from the north that you're talking about, that I
hmm
literally remember they were fighting the Vikings. They fought against the Vikings, and where was their homeland? Was it Finland, Norway, where they invade Norway, where the Russians invade Norway, and they, I mean, they won one battle, but eventually, from my understanding, the Russians just overtake the Vikings and somehow get a foothold in Europe or something. I don't know.
well,
That's
this is
what I.
one of the reasons why they have this whole conflict. There's always been this back and forth with Eastern Europe and Western Europe. You know, that it's so deep. It goes back, even like some people are like, oh yeah, you know, that some people think it went back to as far as, you know, what's it, the time of what's his faces, what's it, the Tsar. But it goes back even further than that. It goes back even further than the whole Napoleon. It goes back so far. These are people who have been fighting. They have, like, people don't realize these people have been fighting like with each other, like even during the time when the pyramids were going up. This is what they do. They've been doing that. It's not something new with them. So when they were coming out saying how, you know, we don't fight, you know, there's not wars in Europe, this is why the rest of the world is like, are you kidding me? Everything, all the world's issues is because of you people. When you came down, it was literally the wars that you started, and it overspilled to everyone else.
Yeah, these are wars by proxy, and you're absolutely right. And the wars by proxy never stopped. It or with them, it just was, it was a sustainable method. And now, because resources are being lost, it was never the fact that, well, they're never going to go to war. To me, I looked at it like, well, they're going to go to war. That's what they do. Don't
Mm-hmm.
don't say that they don't. This is exactly what they do. It's just going to be, they have to prime folks to be engaged in the war or to disengage from the war, so they can be like, well, nothing's going on while the war is going on. You see what I'm saying? But now in this particular respect, see, in your Asian countries would still have their particular issues, especially in those, as Garth had said, those Scythian structured societies, which is your East Asian societies. And on here on this channel, no, I do not subscribe to Japanese or Chinese being Ammonites and yada yada. I don't subscribe to that.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Wait, do you agree that the Moabites and the Ammonites are Hebrews? Because there's some people that are saying that the only Hebrews were the Israelites, but I
Oh
mean,
boy. Oh,
That was the
Only if you
dumbest thing
got
I've
that
ever
reference.
heard.
Only if you got that reference. If not, don't worry about
yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah,
I couldn't believe that when I heard that. I was like, "Are you for real? Like,
yeah,
move yourself, man."
yeah. Being a critical thinker was not required earlier with the acceptance of the 12 tribe charts. Just don't think about it, accept it. But moving on, um,
Mm,
when they and they even do, we come from, we are an extension of the people that's there in Europe. Caucasian, well, we're Asian, right? It's just that they moved to the east, and you have an extension of the west. But even with China, and why did China build the Great Wall? Because why? Because you still had a Caucasian influence that was heavily dominated by war and still is. It's just that war and conflict isn't as, they don't want it to be as nuanced, right? Or acceptable, right? Because it's an imaging, right? You're now in a different um, line of thinking to where, well, we want to be, accepted as this, right? We want to be shown as this, but they always go back to their nature. They always go back to their nature. We deal with that every day. We deal with that every day, and we see that when they're as frustrations grow because their resources are taken away, either after they stop fighting each other, right, and they'll fight us, but they really don't fight us as much as they fight each other. You just don't get all the domestic violence issues that is in the United States. Because why? Because they'll never broadcast that. They'll never publish it. They'll just say that, oh, we do all the amount of crimes. And technically, we don't. We actually do not have the highest crime rates. It's actually them that have the highest crime rates, statistically proven. These
Karis,
are statistical facts.
we actually have one of the lowest crime rates in America. Black people do. We're
Yeah,
not even middle of the
yes,
road.
yes. Mike and I were literally just talking about that yesterday in our emergency preparedness meetings, and thinking about some key facts with our people. And when I had mentioned that, I'm like, look, we don't even commit. We commit like less than 9% of violent crimes in
Yeah, I was about
America.
to
Less than
say
9%.
most of them are non-violent crimes. They lock us up for.
Bingo. Bingo. A majority, 90% of our crimes are nonviolent. Theft, stealing. Theft and stealing. Well, gee, I wonder why. Because when you constrain the resources on a particular population group, well, what's going to end up happening? They're going to steal. Then what do? You put them into legal slavery, which is what the
mm-hmm.
13th Amendment was for.
But Karis, you
Was
ought to know that's why they brought up the moral turpitude clause to make it as bad as committing a violent crime. But that moral turpitude is something that's directed at us because they know that
and
that's the highest percentage of what we do.
and guess what ends up happening? Do you understand that the UN literally has 16, I believe the number is either 16 or 17, I can't quote it at this time, but there's 16 or 17 UN Human Rights Commission rulings, or I, 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 I forget the exact verbiage of it, but it's condemnations against the United States for that particularly and what they have done. Yes, other nations know exactly what happens in the United States, and yes, it has been condemned internationally, and we didn't know that, did we? These have been condemned. There have been human rights resolutions. That's why Trump pulled out the United States, not to say us, but pulled the United States out in 2017. That was his first order of business. Because why? Because it would have had more of an and more of a declaration of reparations. Remember when Trump was saying, hey, he's going to do stuff for black people? Oh, he did. He did everything for black people that was opposite of any type of reparations or restitution. That's actually what ended up happening. So again, as we go back to the projections, right? Is European projections on black folks, is European projections on Africans. It's all these projections.
Which leads me to a question directly for you, Karis. I have to ask you. You live in Tampa, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I saw. First off, shout out for the Global Day of Repentance. But me being Rojo, right after that, or a little bit after that, I thought I'd catch the last of the Tampa Bay versus um, Philadelphia Eagles game, and I saw a disturbing sight. And only you can answer because you live out there. When they showed the cheerleaders with their little cute sequin red or burgundy dresses, whatever the color of their jerseys are,
Hmm.
there was a whole brother with a dress on, with a whole mustache and beard and small afro, wearing pom poms, standing in that cheerleader line. What's it? What the flippity flippity
Mhm.
flip, flip 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 flop?
Yo,
Let me
what?
let me Rojo, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. I'm gonna just be truthful as I can. This is why I don't watch football. Now think
I
about that.
can hear a pin drop.
Think about the messaging. Think about the messaging that you have with our sons and our sons seeing that. Think about the
Mhm.
messaging. That's all a messaging campaign, and it's sad. And yeah, they're definitely on. Yeah, out here. Yeah, oh man, I have some stories.
Well, I mean,
But
I guess
not not
I'm lucky to have my dad in my life because he wasn't afraid to say, he would let the F word fly when he
yeah,
saw that stuff, and he's like he made it known like that's not acceptable at all. But
yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I tell that to my kids, but I tell them, I'm like, look, this is what they're being exposed to. Because why? I'm going to tell you this. What ended up happening to the children of Israel when they left Egypt? That whole generation got wiped out. What do you think? If they know, excuse me. Oh man,
Whoa. Are you okay?
yeah. No, I told you I was fighting this head cold, but yeah, now I think my body's past its time limit. I'll have to get another Cylon body. Cylon.
you
but
have to get another gray suit, another
another,
bodysuit.
I have to do another suit. Yeah,
uh, hey,
oh,
Go
we're
back
guard,
to
gonna
the
guard,
Cylon resurrection
oh
ship.
we're
Back to
gonna
the
talk
Cylon
about
resurrection ship.
hey,
we're gonna
guard,
talk about
guard,
that later too. We're gonna talk
hey,
about
guard.
that later.
Hey, little bro, guard. No,
Yeah.
what Karis not tell you is that he took the jab and he has to go to Cybertron to get a new body, like Starscream.
Oh my
He
goodness.
has to get a new All Spark.
Oh man, yeah. Oh yeah, and I'm gonna tell you that was the worst Transformers movie I've ever seen. The new one, that was terrible. I couldn't even watch the
It
whole
wasn't
thing.
that bad. It was all right.
I
And
couldn't even.
but
best Transformer movie of all time, 1986. Go check it out.
What, the
Probably.
cartoon, the animated one?
Yes, that is
Yeah.
the hands down. And the first one, the first and second one of the real, like the actual Transformers are the best. But the alpha is that 1986.
Yeah. So again, the messaging for Babylon, aka Daughter of Babylon, is be as dirty as you can because when you get released, they're thinking that destruction is imminent for our people. You see what I'm saying? Destruction is imminent because why would the Most High? How could the Most High deal with the people that's in this much filth and garbage that we placed them in? That's exactly their line of thought. But again, their line of thought isn't going to work because it's going to be the Most High that's going to be dealing with his people. He's going to
Well,
be dealing with this and dealing with us what face to face. Now, while we're here, oh my goodness, yeah, we're destroyed people.
Oh man.
And I
It's
know.
like the basement is getting even worse with these plant artists. Like, listen,
Mhm.
I'm young and I was listening to hip hop. I was impressionable. I used to listen to Cash Money. That was the first rap group that Dipset, and then all these other people. And then, I see, like, as I grow older, I'm like, yo, these people are just portraying a message, and they're getting money to send people to hell, basically.
Mhm.
So,
Yeah,
And God, it's in Florida and it's in Britain where that um dirty toilet sewer rap is like really generating from. Look it up, God. I
what are you talking about?
that garbage sick rap that they're trying to push on us is in your country
yeah.
starting off, and then in America, Florida is the hotbed of that, all the
You
way
talk.
from Tampa to Miami.
What are you talking about? What
Like
grime?
drill
Uh,
rap.
not
drill?
not yeah,
Uh,
that drill rap and that trap rap stuff. Because out there, y'all got 21 Savage, which he does have a song I like that has J. Cole in it. I won't lie.
21 Savage. You're
But
gonna count 21 Savage as
You know,
British?
you
no,
know.
no, I don't like 21 Savage. He's garbage, but I do like his song a lot though. I like that song. But
Oh yeah,
as far
yeah, I know. Yeah.
My son listens to British rap. He listens to British rap, and I forgot one of
why?
yeah, because I mean that's what they do. They listen to British rap out here. They listen, yeah.
I don't
So
listen to any modern music really. I think
I
it's all.
and I tell him I'm like, the everything's the same. They just have knives. We have guns.
Yeah, there
Carrot
as well.
killed it. He said-
I'm gonna juke you up, fam. I'm gonna juke you up,
Yeah,
fam. You give me these peas real quick. Nice. Let's juke you up,
they do
fam.
have
Because
they do have
it,
guns here as well,
you
but
look. I'm
yeah,
not gonna
not
lie.
like how
There's
you
like
guys
sometimes
are.
we talk about like you get Swiss cheesed up. They talk about they take them to the butcher shop. They talk about they take them to the butcher shop.
That is true though.
That's
That
true.
is true.
Yeah.
And they're not walking around with some little knives, man. Like
uh,
I'm,
uh,
I can't believe like little kids. What are you doing with that? Like
uh,
proper. Like
shut
what are
up.
you going to be cutting up the garden with that? What is that?
Nah,
Y'all,
you cut up me mate, fam. You got I'm
And
cleaving.
Chantel, did you see that Hughes Brothers movie From Hell, the Jack the Ripper story? And I'm
Yeah.
sorry, see, I heard the song by Jay Z, "Excuse Me, Miss," but I think that the scene in that movie was directly from that Jay Z song with Homeboy, where that lady was walking down the alley, and he was like, "Excuse
and
me, Miss," and then he
he
slid
cut.
across her.
Yeah, that
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 was
was.
anyway.
I know what scene you're talking about.
That was sweet. Now,
He did a
I'm not.
smooth criminal move on her with her neck.
That's what I was
Like
thinking right there. Karis, I'm not trying to hit your channel with encouraging violence, but it.
so Rojo, we're gonna have to keep our eye on you, brother Rojo. No, just yeah, um, but those are the unfortunately those are the influences, right? From the music to I mean, shoot, here in Florida, you can't even teach black kids about black history anymore.
not in the school. You just have to do it at home. But did we really need them to
Well,
teach us?
how churches try to help. That's sad, isn't it? Well, the
I
problem
heard
ain't sad.
half of what you just said.
It's a calculated step towards it's a calculated step towards genocide. So when I tell people, they look at me like, "Oh, Karis, you're crazy." I'm like, you have to understand what these nations are doing, especially with the AU and things of that nature. Everybody can see the genocide of our people coming except for our people here in the United
Mm,
States. Every other
yeah.
nation in the world can see it's going to start. This side is going to start happening because why? They've laid the groundwork for that. You don't do all. We're not going to teach you this. Or we're not going to teach you that. Why are they not going to teach that? Here's the thing. If that were from that other three-letter group that starts with an A and ends with L, oh my goodness, they would be lobbying every petition in Capitol Hill for laws and things of that nature. No, don't forget what happened in before 1948. Don't forget that. Oh,
Don't forget.
you get what I'm telling you? Well, you can forget about Black history. Whoa, why? Because they even know it's coming. Oh, if we, the genocide is right around the corner. Genocide's right around there. How is it that they know the? Come on now. But I'm gonna tell you when they did that, I'm gonna tell you that was a different time because they didn't see what was going on in the continent. Now I guarantee you they want to do what they want to do, but they're not going to be allowed to do what they want to do. They're not going to be
Yeah,
allowed to do it. Oh,
but
they're not going to
what,
be
Roger?
allowed. Now you understand because think about it. If they do what they want to do, then guess what that does? That becomes fighting for the other European nations. Because why? I can't do what? I cannot agree with what's happening there because why? Because if I either agree or acquiesce or, turn the back, then guess what? I will not have access to resources that are now being cut off. Are we seeing this mechanism? Isms. This is why Europe fights. This is why it says in the scripture that what? That the whore is burned with fire. We're seeing all these things really coming to pass. So, you know, it's very interesting to see how these dynamics are shaping up week after week and day after day. Go ahead.
No, I was saying that what Rojo's saying about them feminizing us, while at the same time, this whole, gender war. I mean, it is a soft. I could say that word, genocide. It is a soft genocide because you're indirectly telling people to go against their nature and not create families and literally just live for self, and then that eventually just leads to death and destruction and nothing. No, nothing. No fruits are produced from that type of living or lifestyle,
Well,
and they know
God,
that.
God, peep this in, little bro, and I'm gonna let you finish. I just because you're young, so I gotta get you some game so you can see what's going on. We just think who the only face of the people, who are the only people on the face of the earth that are split so bad. I mean, if you look at it from one point, we're involved in diaspora beef and diaspora wars. Yeah, some of it's a lot of in-house stuff that we got to clean up within the diaspora, but that's something that the enemy, those folks, will highlight. And then not only that, but then we're also separately classified by gender. Black men, black women. You don't hear that from within any other people group. You don't hear anything about white men, white women. White men versus European men. Excuse me, or Africans or Australians or Latino versus Spaniards or Portuguese, or any of the Romance language, from days of thankfully gone over there in Europe. You don't hear anything. The only people that that they bring that to is us. So yeah, we could do a lot of internal work, and I think what's going on in Africa is really galvanizing us, and it's really chipping away at those diaspora wars and beefs that we have with each other. But even with that, just step back for a minute and just see how the mainstream refers to us in relation to how they refer to everyone else. I mean, with every classification known to man, there are probably as many classifications of us as you can see stars on the firmament. Oops, I'm sorry, Karis, in the sky.
Yeah, but
We're
if
talking about
but also
firmament. Wait,
yeah, but if you
listen, Rojo. Listen, Rojo. How are we going to talk about firmament when we're about to have aliens. You explain that one to me.
That's why I have to take a chance. I have to take a chance on angering the Most High by discrediting His creation and saying the vast universe, the limitless universe full of collapsers and dark stars and black holes and pulsars and
And the Milky Way.
quasars. Yeah.
I like
And
that.
Andromeda.
I hate that chocolate.
11 Earths. So hey, I don't know how we can Stargate teleport on out of here.
We're in an alternate universe. There's an alternate Karis and an alternate Rojo and an alternate Chantel on a different Earth right now as we speak.
Do you remember Sliders? You remember that?
Yeah.
We're gonna slide into a parallel dimension.
Slide through the wormhole, or was it a black hole they were sliding through?
I think they're sliding through CERN.
Oh, ooh.
I think the proper term is wormhole because black hole is racist. Black holes are derogatory term. So now it's wormhole.
Call it a white hole.
No, okay, we have to. No, it's the whole of color. There we go. Let me mute my.
It's a colored hole. A colored hole.
Can we all stop saying the word hole, please?
A colored vortex abyss. A colored vortex abyss.
Speaking of that theme,
let's call it a event horizon. That's what it is.
No, okay, there you go. And speaking of that theme, the event horizon, y'all need to get the Mortal Kombat 1. Liu Kang can actually make one of those and kill you. Anyway, let me mute my
What?
I promise you. Yeah, I promise you.
He can make a CERN. He can make a CERN.
And it would
Yeah.
and it would suck you up, like twisting you, like how the event horizon spins, and it would actually show your entrails and innards and fluids spinning down that thing, and eventually your neck will break and he'll let you go and you'll fall off into it. I promise you. That freaked me out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Twilight Zone, where Rojo is your host for the evening.
I'll have to Google that move. I'll have to see how that goes.
That's his fatality, right?
That's his fatality. Yep, he'll grab you. He'll grab you, snap his fingers. A wormhole like a CERN will open up. You'll be in the universe, and then he'll snap his fingers again, and then the event horizon will show up, and he'll hold on to you while you're being sucked into it. I ain't never seen. I promise.
I think you're gonna need a lot of cuddles from the angels when we get to the wilderness, I think.
Hey man, you asked us why we're into entertainment and drama. You know, it's just like you just need something.
I know I was bad, but Rojo took it to another degree.
What Carrots are gonna do to me, what Carrots and company's gonna do to me, they're gonna take me, tie a rope around my foot, and pull me up and have me hanging upside down at the crow's nest. You know.
No, Rojo, listen. You're gonna be one of those brothers that we're just gonna have to let loose in the Serengeti so you can just find your way.
Look, he's even got it on his icon. It's his icon. It is his icon. Look, the lion in the Serengeti. Look, Karis wasn't even being adventurous. He just looked at the icon.
Yeah,
that's all.
Chantel, you remember in Black Panther? What was his name? Bucky. Remember when he came back as like the White Wolf and he like found peace?
Yeah.
Rojo's
gonna be in the wilderness and he's just gonna be gone, and then like 10 days later he'd be like, he's a totally different person.
Hey, Garth, I'm gonna be like that movie with Anthony Perkins.
I've seen the face of God.
I'm gonna be like Anthony Perkins and Cuba Gooding Jr. Y'all gonna find me, and I'm gonna have more of a camaraderie with the silverbacks than with humans.
Or he just comes through with like a whole gang of lions. Look, guys. Look.
Yep.
I'll be able to tell a lion. I'll be able to have the lion shake my hand like y'all, do with dogs. I'll come with a whole big pride of him. And the alpha lion, I'll stick my hand out. He'll shake my hand, and I'll say he'll heal. And then one of y'all approach me because I don't know you, sick him. And the whole pride. Now I'm just messing with you.
Are you talking about a lion?
Yeah, lions.
Did y'all ever
Okay.
see that? Did y'all ever see the hunter that was so
Ooh.
happy that he got like the picture of the lion that he killed?
Who did that?
And then
And the lion in the background.
yeah, the lion in the background killed him, built his behind up for killing his.
It was him and the woman that was there.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was sweet. I'm not gonna lie, that was sweet.
You just see literally just horror on their face as the lion.
You
just
hunt together, you can die together.
Am I bugging if I feel like if we just go, like, if we do go in the wilderness and we see a lion, they'd be like, oh, they're back. And then they'll just go on with their day.
Yeah.
Well, Garth the Carrot, let me tell y'all something about Chantel. If you ever hear Chantel tell one of us to jog on, don't smile and don't start jogging, because that's
Jog on,
truly it. That's an insult. That's like get the bleep 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 blankety blank out of my face.
Jog on, Kitty, jog on.
Here's actually a fun fact. Here's actually a fun fact that you all may not know. During the Italian-Ethiopian Wars, the Ethiopians used lions, and they would ride on lions.
I heard that.
Like
But my dad told me that when I was little, but I never really.
They would ride on lions like they did horses.
Yeah.
So I wonder where. So say. Let me just tell you this. Mattel or Hasbro was biting off of the Ethiopian soldiers by creating He-Man, another fictional character.
That's cultural appropriation right there.
That is cultural appropriation. From
instead of putting a royal king from the line of Judah, from the tribe of Judah, they put a barbarian from the north.
Mm-hmm.
Sacrilege.
It was
sacrilege. Now, what does that say when you actually look at that image?
Now, would that be then? Would that then be He-Man, not the defenders of the universe, but what? Defenders of the firmament.
Yeah.
Okay, that I'm not even gonna lie. That toy sounds so lame.
No, I like it. I like
He-Man, the defenders of the firmament.
But check this out. During the whole
was Castle Grayskull. Here's the thing: was Castle Grayskull really Solomon's temple?
I put my little finger near my lips, the corner of my mouth.
I know I'm going to get capped for this. I know I'm going to get capped, and I'm cool. But as much as I watched that, I was always more of a Skeletor fan than a He-Man fan.
Hey, listen, the He-Man that they came out with in 2003, I think it was, Skeletor cracked me up. Oh my gosh, he was so funny. He was so stupid. He was so funny. I loved Skeletor as well. I loved Skeletor. He was so funny. I'm talking about the newer one that what's it? It came out 2003, 2000 or 2005. I can't remember. The Masters of the Universe. You can find it on here. I'm not going to say because just in case they try and take it down, because I was kind of watching it the other day, and Skeletor, he just cracks me up, man. He's so funny. He's so funny. The things he comes out with. Oh my gosh. And then what's that other one? The one with the smelly odor, Stinkor. Does anybody know who that is?
Oh my goodness, Stinkor. I know exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. That was funny.
If he had bathed more often, Stinkor would be probably over Skeletor, because I did like Stinkor. But Skeletor was because even in the cartoons from back in the day, you're probably a little too young to really
I
be
remember that. I do remember. Look, they didn't. I might not have been around to watch it. Look, I saw it. Okay, I'm not that young.
I listen. He-Man brought back some memories, and the funny thing is
I
that
had She-Ra.
yeah, Netflix did a documentary on He-Man, and He-Man was the very first um
Mattel
cartoon. Yeah, it was the very first cartoon that was deliberately made
by a toy for a
by
toy.
for
Hmm.
toy. Yep, it was hand in hand. They had He-Man, and then the cartoon came like a year later, and the
Yeah.
cartoon became more. It was wildly successful. I'm not gonna lie, I had me a couple He-Mans when I was a kid.
And then tell me something. The Brown Hornet was a more popular, successful cartoon than He-Man. Why did they get
Who?
do anything? The Brown. Oh, it's a it's a
The
TV
brown
show.
what?
Brown
The
Hornet.
the brown
Mm,
hornet. That sounds like a
Yeah.
lot of fun.
yeah.
Well, maybe it's the Green Hornet. I know it's. Karis, help me out. Is it the Green Hornet or the Brown Hornet? It was.
It's the green hornet, isn't
Uh,
it?
I'm not even sure, to be honest. I'm not
Are
even
we
sure.
talking about a TV show or a cartoon?
It's a cartoon,
Okay.
and the main character was the black dude that was like a wasp,
Mm.
and
And he was a brown. Okay, it might have been a brown
Remember,
hornet.
remember the TV show back in the day? It was the praying mantis or mantis or whatever, and it was the black guy that was the
Space
superhero.
Ghost.
No, this was like back in the 90s. This had to have been like 94, 95.
is it a cartoon or a TV show?
It was a TV show. It was a black guy, it was a superhero, and his thing was like a mantis.
So a live action TV show kind of thing.
Shoot, I'm trying to think. What was I watching back at? Ah, man,
Hard to remember, eh?
it is. It
And
is.
I think it only had like one season. It only had like one or two seasons on Fox, you know.
Ah,
But you had now the question is should Meteor Man be turned into Firmament Man?
hey, I'm with that. In fact, see, since you talk about the firmament so much, I'm going to send you a video. I don't know if I have time to put it in the chat, but I'm definitely going to put it in the comments. Where before YouTube took all those FE, I won't say the words on your platform, bro. But before YouTube took all those FE, the letters FE videos now, there's one that's on TikTok, and it showed the evidence. And I had these videos.
Yeah.
A Waranon.
Oh yeah. YouTube.
Is that who you're talking about? A Waranon. That he. I'm not going to say who had it.
Sister, he's one of them, but this one is not from him. It's from someone clicked up with him. They built a rocket. They put all their money into it. They all went broke. Some of them are living on the streets now because they want to prove something. And who does that sound like they did? Sister Chantel and Karis and Garth. Don't that sound like what the Vander something? What's the name of that? Zondervan. Don't it sound like what they did? They put all their money to disprove something, and it turned out that it was true. And then they wound up either going insane or putting themselves down and lost everything.
Yep.
So I'm like this, in the streets, Chantel, us brothers and sisters out here in America, when we say put your money where your mouth is, I'll respect you better. Even if it's a dub S, if they put their money where their mouth is, I respect it, especially when they get proven wrong and it proves us to be right. But yeah, those videos are out there, sister, and it's real.
Yeah, I think I know you're talking. They did make a homemade rocket. But they won't tell you they won't share with you like the findings of that rocket.
Are you talking about that show, that movie on October Sky?
No, it's not October Sky. It's not October Sky. This was actually, I think they did this back in like what the 80s, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, one of them was did in the 80s, in like 80, right before the Berlin Wall.
Yeah,
Sorry. Right before that before that thing crumbled is when they did it. Yep.
yeah, yeah. And then see, you're not allowed to launch any type of rockets. You're not allowed to launch them, and that's what they did basically. They caused that changed some laws. let's just be let's just be honest. It changed laws because they don't want you to launch. If you did launch, you're rich enough. If you wanted to, you could take all that to some sort of a island. You know, you could float it on over to an island there in the Bahamas and launch it. But they don't want you to launch because why? Well, they got aliens that they gotta introduce, right? They gotta introduce these aliens here in the next few years.
I'm sorry. I can't with you, Karis. I'm sorry.
I
mean,
needed to make a quick wardrobe change, so
yeah.
phone
mean,
died.
but you know what I'm saying? They're trying to introduce these aliens, and you can't be saying, the firmament. Daniel chapter 12. Daniel chapter 12, and you read it, is very ominous because those that have what awakened, we're gonna be as bright as the firmament, as bright as the firmament, not as bright as the sun, as bright as the firmament.
And also in Genesis, Karis, when I don't know who the apostle is who actually saw glass being built and expanded across the sky. So I mean, I don't know, but I gotta respect YouTube, so I won't say the F word because it's that to me saying that word on YouTube is just as good as saying the F blank blank blank. It sounds like fudge, but with harder endings on it. So yeah, these.
Oh yeah, the FE talk is like that's bad.
Okay, I kind of came up for a moment. What are you guys talking about?
I'm pretty sure if you say that word, they'll have that little stupid wiki thing under your video.
Yeah, this video promotes misinformation. Would you like to watch it or something else like that? Sorry, this video is something that's in the Bible. It's funny how everything that's biblical is misinformation. Have you realized that?
Well, we're not. Yeah. No, Karis, did you notice that I don't know if it's Florida, University of Florida, or if it's some Alabama university, and not that I care about even them because I don't, so don't get it twisted. But do you know that the liberals are in a tizzy, like their panties are in a serious twist because they had a mass baptism at one of those universities. I don't know if it was Alabama or Gainesville. It was one of those who blue and orange. So that's got to be Auburn or Florida.
Yeah, that's probably Gainesville.
But they had a whole bunch of people when. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're devils. Well, I'm not going to pass judgment on them because I ain't even going to say what I think. But I'm just saying they were out there in this lake and they were all getting baptized, like 200 or 300 of them. Mm-hmm. And the liberals just went like bat poop crazy behind that.
Why I couldn't understand why would they go crazy? Because if you lot feel that you have the right to have your little devil church and do whatever, then why do you go crazy for, I mean, you claim that you want equality for everyone. So if these people choose to get baptized, then what business is it of yours? The same way you want to say, well, what business is it of yours if we want to worship the devil? Fine, go ahead and worship the devil. Then keep it the same. Keep it cordial, the same. If people choose to worship, whoever, Jesus or Yeshua, why are you getting upset?
Chantel, sister, this is America. Everything is.
I know it's the home of hypocrisy.
This is America, like Donald Trump.
Yeah, Childish Gambino. Whoop, whoop. This is America. Whoop, whoop. Look at Mike. I'm sorry, I had to put that in there. But Chantel, look, this is the same. It's coming from the same group of people who would put a brother with a whole mustache and beard, 6'3", looking like he should be, a linebacker or one of the D linemen on the football field, but yet they have him in a cheerleader uniform. This is coming from this pushback about that is coming from this same side of the realm. So I don't know. I mean, I just, like I said last night, I don't know if I can really look at a football game the same again ever after seeing that. Like, I'm probably
Hey,
done
bro,
with the
I
NFL now.
don't blame you, bro, for all that man team.
What did you just say?
I just censored myself. I forgot I was on Cash Channel. I just censored myself.
I just can't. I love football. I grew up with football, and I can't. I see that. I can't. The next thing you know, we're going to be seeing dang Lizzo as a left tackle. She's going to be playing a Michael Orr role. So I should have said that.
Listen,
but,
just like in the great words of Bobby Boucher's mother, foosball's the devil.
But hey,
oh my!
Oh, you just caught. You just caught.
No, I listen. Joe is talking about having Lizzo in Blind Side 2. Man, that's the most ignorant thing I've heard. I'm about to throw my headphones.
Hey, that's the way this country's going. I mean, I'm not lying. I mean,
that brought tears to my eyes. Oh my goodness.
Honestly, that's not far fetched because what's that shorty with the crazy hair and the music, Sexy Red? She was with the Jets owner. She was meeting up with the Jets owner. And she went to Penn State. They're just playing.
Wait. Hold on. The Jets owner, that's the NFL. I'm not surprised with him. But you said she went to Penn State, Gar?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Bro, it's a world tour. It's a world tour of plantism. A world tour of just, trying to, influence kids.
If it weren't for the Shabbat, my Saturdays would be ruined now. Thanks a lot, Garth.
What did I ruin?
Because you said that she went to Penn State, and they're like competing to be in the playoffs right there.
Penn State? Oh, I had no clue. Yeah. But yeah, they're inviting these people, inviting her to be an inspiration to these young kids, these young impressionable minds that are in college and high school, and then they literally had her at the they played her song at the Jets training camp, and now she's with the Jets owner, and the Jets owner literally comes out in this big chain, and he never wears chains like that. He's not flossing like that, but Sexy Red is coming to the stadium, so he's gonna put on his whatever jewelry to fit in or whatever to peacock or whatever they call it, just to just to play into the ruse, and it's just it's so obvious that it's just infuriating.
I don't know what's going on with your part of the world, Garth, and Karis's part of the world.
We both live.
Where do you think they live? They live where you are.
Cross the Mason-Dixon line.
You're part of the world.
Yeah, they're part of the world because I'm in Tennessee. People
That's
here.
Not the world. America is not planet. It's not planet America.
I know, but I know Chantel, but it's like part of different worlds, Like you have the Florida world, the Orlando world, Miami world, which is Miami's the state of Miami down there, and then you have Tampa, Orlando, and what does she have up there?
Disney World.
There you go. There you go. See, you making my argument now, Chantel. That's a whole other galaxy in itself. And then you have up there New Jersey with Garth, and now he's talking
You're
about this
right.
stuff.
Jersey is a different place. It depends on where you're at. You're right. Different exit. You can be in a totally different environment. You're right.
And y'all about to be out of a governor now because he's sitting in court facing indictments. Man, y'all in trouble. DeSantis is already trying to erase Karras out from existence.
Yo, his teeth are, you're talking about Phil Murphy, right? Doesn't his teeth look crazy? If he could steal all those billions from people, you think he would get his teeth fixed?
But he can't fix his mouth. Exactly.
You know, and the funny thing is, he was really thinking that he was onto something, and then when the Jacksonville shooting happened, everything plummeted. Because you're literally telling people, and you're putting on those white supremacy dog whistles. And what did you think was going to happen? What did he think was going to happen? Everybody could see that a mile away. Yeah, you're going to have a couple mass shootings here. That's not going to be the only one. That's just one of probably a couple.
It's so funny how they don't really need that much of a push just to go out and do wickedness.
No, like, Chantel. The Most High. Oh, go ahead, Chantel. I'm sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, it's like, how far gone are you as a people when all that needs to happen? Like, well, he said it, and it made me want to go out and shoot somebody, or he said it, and it made me want to go and terrorize the Capitol. Like, the rest of the world looks at you, not you, but looks at you, America, like you're a bunch of idiots.
You got to say you lot. You got to say you lot. I like.
Yeah, sorry, you lot. You lot are a bunch of idiots. Man, you're Egypt.
Karras should know the Most High spared him, not only him but his whole state twice in the past 2 weeks because Hurricane Lee should have literally separated Florida and those keys from the United States. So and then that other one, Irma, whatever that was coming, that turned and went back towards your way, Chantel, and then it dissipated before it hit your land. But
yes, we have a shield over us. You mock us. We have a shield that protects us. We don't suffer from anything like that. We don't suffer from earthquakes or flooding like that. We're not really getting fires like that. We're actually shielded. We don't have a Wakanda. We have
food.
But y'all are having some hella riots out there right now, Sister Chantel. Or maybe they may have calmed down, but
they're calm.
Oh, they calm? They calm down?
They're calm. Look, man, when it gets to a certain time in the day, they need their afternoon tea. And yeah.
All right, everyone's done for riots. We're done here. We're gonna go intermission for tea and crumpets, and we're gonna come back and let them know what we think.
They're like, oh, I don't know about you, love, but I'm gasping for a cuppa. That's all it is. Just wait a little while, and they'll be like, I need a cup of tea, mate. Hey, put the kettle on. Put the kettle on, Kitty, if you don't mind. All right, love? Make a cup of tea. Make a cup of tea, all right?
Let me tell you something. I think I'm done with tea because if that can quell a riot, Cole, that's some hell of a witchcraft right there. So, I think
it's all in the brew, my love. It's all in the brew.
Witch's brew.
I think I am done with tea.
It's in the tea leaves.
I am going to dump. There's going to be a tea party at my address because I'm going to dump it all in the car.
You know how they put it here they put it here in the chicken in America. They put it in the tea in Britain.
Well, I don't really drink tea, my darling. Actually, I am partial to a lovely Earl Grey. So, you know, two lumps of sugar, Earl Grey.
Oh, Earl Grey. Okay, because I'm gonna say Al Groton.
Earl Grey, darling.
Earl Grey.
Come on, the nice bit of milk and some sugar. Yes, and what we delightfully call biscuits. You guys, I don't know what you call that.
I'm FBA, Chantel, so I'm kind of slow. You got to kind of draw me little cartoon sketches. What you talking about?
Tea and biscuits, darling.
Oh, okay.
In the tea and biscuits in the drawing room, of course, darling.
Listen, when you say biscuits, you mean cookies or like
Well,
Like,
no, you mean cookies. Oh, awful little hateful things. Look at them. They look so angry with their little things all over them, like what the raisins that you put in there. Oh my gosh! And you guys put peanut
raisins?
butter on everything. Peanut butter on everything. It's
Peanut butter
Oh,
cookies
ew.
are good. I like
Speaking of
peanut butter
cookies,
cookies.
speaking of cookies, Karis, my mother thanks you because I didn't send them when I bought those cookies. I didn't send them to me. I sent them down to her because I just wanted to do something for moms for T Lady, and she absolutely loves those cookies. She loves the macadamia the best.
Good. Hallelujah. Thank you, Rojo. Tell the folks we got milk, cookies, popcorn.
Segue.
We're about to have, you know,
This will be like
The-
message.
This is Keaton Ivory Blaze. Message. No, but those cookies, she is crazy about those cookies. She liked the chocolate chip when she said that they're really good, but she said that those macadamia cookies stood out. And then that, that they bake it with, they're really soft. Like, she had to pick them up gently and it's not much crumbage.
Oh, they're
And
the
she-
best cookies when they're soft.
Yeah, I'm telling you, and she eats them hot. She was crazy about them. She was wanting me to come down and visit with her, but the way my job is going, I'm working all kinds of crazy hours. I can't do, spit, and I did put a P on that, not an H. But but yeah, she sent me all kinds of pictures, on her Facebook and of her personally, her and her friends, just enjoying
Roger.
those cookies. Yeah.
Soft cookies? No, darling. We need a hard biscuit so you can dip it in your tea so it doesn't drop off in there. Why would one want a soft cookie? That's blasphemous.
Last
Soft
time I checked,
cookie.
you put
It has
cookie in
nothing but
milk,
a
man.
stew. It will be stewed tea with a lump of cookie floating at the bottom. Oh no! That's absolutely disastrous, darling. You need a
okay.
nice hard biscuit so you can dip it in. The tea will soften it ever so nicely, and then you just take a nibble out of it. This is so delightful.
and then you can drink the rest of the crumbs in your tea.
Yes,
Hey,
we can.
Gar.
Cookie tea
Hey, Gar,
crumbs.
see,
one
Chantel
likes.
is saying this, and that she's reminded me of the end of the first Suspiria, not the one that came out a few years ago, but the Dario Argento one, where the witch is in there doing her little thing, and she like drinks this tea and then eats this.
I never seen that movie. I'm afraid it's
You're not helping your cause. Chantel, you're not helping your cause.
There is no
I'm trying
cause
to
to
work
help,
with you.
darling. I want a hard biscuit.
Yeah,
What's good is a soft cookie. I mean, this is disgusting. Eating baby food. We are adults here. We have teeth, do we not? Soft cookies. Third.
I'm sorry. I can't
joking.
with you.
I do like my cookies soft, actually. I'm not going to lie. There are no. We want our biscuits, so they need to be hard, like a stale cookie. No,
You okay,
oh, gosh. When a cookie goes hard and stale.
Gareth has had enough of this.
I can't with Chantel.
Well, actually, I have to get going, so we gotta get some
Whew.
closing comments on in here. Spent 3 hours. 3 hours. This is a good
3
little-
hours is Karis's limit.
That is my limit.
He needs a cup of tea now.
Yeah.
Okay, I
Cup
got.
of tea and a slice of cake.
I'm fanning myself. I had to turn up the AC really high because Chantel, you stole the show with that. Ooh,
Darling.
okay. Ooh. Okay. Anyway, I'll start with the final comments, if I may. Chantel, no hard cookies. Get carrot. Get. If y'all want some good cookies and you don't want to go to the store, you don't trust the store. Q2UA, the cookie dough, if they still have it going on, go ahead and invest into that. I'm also going to get some popcorn, but I'm gonna get that for myself. I mean, and if I may drive some down to my mom's when I go to visit her, but the popcorn, that's gonna be mine. That's gonna be my baby. I love my popcorn. But anyway, yeah. um, y'all go ahead and really do what you can to support Q2UA. I know I'm doing what I can. For some reason, I'm on the phone with my credit card companies, with Capital One, because that's mainly who I deal with, to see, because I want to become a tier member. But if I can't be a tier member, I can just keep popping money in there and it'll be the same. And if y'all can't do it, y'all just don't get discouraged. Just keep on sending money. The Cash App and the PayPal, it won't stop your money. I mean, just, you know, support this because, in the long run, it's helping all of us. And you don't think that they're saying that over on the continent? You don't think that somebody down there in power with influence of substance is not seeing that there's this little organization over here called Q2UA, and they probably sent somebody to listen in to see what's going on, and that motivated them to fight even harder? Because I think it's a heck of a coincidence, excuse me, Karis, a heck of a coincidence that now the continent is fighting for justice for us over here now, ever since Q2UA started. And I'm in the belief that if Karis and Mike had never launched this campaign, they wouldn't be talking like that over there, but they are now. So, I mean, you might not think that there are no results happening or that the effects aren't being felt across the water. Trust me, it is. I feel it in the spirit and I see it with my own eyes. So y'all go ahead and do what you can to support that. Let's definitely continue to support, Covenant Awakenings, because we do not want this brother to, turn off the switch and we wake up or get off work and we don't see him on here, because I'm man enough to admit I would have a bad day if I wasn't able to come on here, whether I'm speaking or just listening. I don't care. This is, my daily motivation. So, we just really got to start putting skin in the game. When the rubber meets the road, we got to do what they do to put, when they want to push their agenda or feed their power, they're not afraid to put money into it. So, let's go ahead and get a cheaper weave, sisters, if we have to, get some cheaper nails, brothers. If y'all are doing it, I'm not saying you are, but don't go to the high-end strip club, go to the discount strip club, and use some of that other money to help feed, what's going on with us. Let's help empower us. And I land there. Shabbat, not Shabbat, but
Rojo,
shalom,
Karis needs
shalom.
to go. I'm going to throw some hard biscuits at you in a minute.
Oh my goodness, girl, you are so bad. You better dip them in tea first, so it feels
Oh
like a sponge.
no. Nice and hard and crunchy.
All right. Shalom. Thank you, Brother Rojo. Thank you, Brother Rojo. While at this channel, we do not encourage for
Biscuit throwing.
our folks to go to strip clubs. I hope that people can understand the intent of what Brother Rojo means. So,
What club?
we do not encourage that here on this platform on Covenant Awakenings. Hallelujah.
Just because you saw other, ministries do it.
We don't encourage that.
Goodbye, Brother Karis.
We don't encourage that for our feast days. For past.
On that note,
But
shalom. I'll be to see you guys later. Yeah, I don't need crazy.
All right,
Yeah.
thanks, Brother.
Shalom. I just
Well,
wanted to say that.
I'm going to be short and sweet because I really do need a tea. Let me ask you something. So the biscuits that what we call biscuits, you guys call cookies. What
We call cookies, yeah.
you call them? Do you call them tea cakes? Like what do you call tea cakes?
So,
What do you call tea cakes?
So tea cakes are kind of like crimpets. That's kind of tea.
Crumpets?
Yeah, they call them crimpets.
Crimpets or crumpets
Yeah.
or what?
What are crumpets? It's crumpets. Crumpets, yeah. So like Tasty Cake will make like butterscotch crumpets. I used to eat those all the time when I was like a child. So, but those are like your proper, or what you would have for like your tea type of um, type of arrangement. So like internationally, when I used to work with a lot of countries, they would do their tea times. Like no kidding, they would actually shut down the office, and it's like, hey, everybody has tea, and somebody's serving the tea, right? And then they would have their little, I wouldn't say garnishments, but the little tray of little,
Oh,
fancy.
yes, how delightful.
You see what I'm saying? So they'd have, you know, uh, chocolate chip cookies, little, you know, um, other, filled cookies, cream filled cookies, things of that nature. But it was something
What
that
we
was,
would have, Mr. Kipling's fancies.
yeah, that's exactly. So that's kind of that's what they would have. They would just call it not hors d'oeuvres, but you know, um, we would just say, hey, here's we call it snacks, right? Here's some snacks with that. That's what we would say. It's a snack, but the snack would be like chocolate chip cookies, any type of like, a confectionery item, some sort of like a baked goods. That was usually a sweet baked good, things of that nature. So these are cultural exchanges right here, ladies and gentlemen, on Quest 2 Night Africa. And Covenant Awakenings right here. We're bringing this is the diaspora talk. Maybe that's what we
Yes.
need to have. Maybe we need to have diaspora talks. So we can understand honestly how we can communicate to each other from on the
Or
diaspora
diaspora dialogue.
dialogue. Yeah, exactly. Because we're gonna have to understand, which beef patties are better, Jamaican beef patties,
Oh, good Lord.
or or Bahama pates, right? Or you know what I'm saying? Or good old, black eyed peas. Is black eyed peas gonna be better than
Now,
beans and
Karis,
rice?
you know you're just going to start another war in
Oh,
the
oh,
diaspora.
oh,
You can't be
oh!
doing that. You know how black people
It's
take their food
cornbread
seriously.
better than any look. This is you think it's a joke? It ain't no joke. This ain't no game. You know now. Whose collard greens are better?
I will say nothing. I
Oh
think I
boy.
think Sister E was talking about
Yeah.
this
So
some months ago, and she was saying something about how the West Indian greens tend to be too hard, and you guys like it very soft and slimy, sort of.
oh yeah, they gotta be soft. Oh my goodness. Yeah. They you can't be eating it like you just picking it straight out the garden. You know what I'm saying? You gotta have
You
that thing
know,
slow cooked.
once you've cooked it all in, you lose all the nutrients, right? So
But
you just
I'm
eat
gonna
it
tell you, once you cooked it and you
gray
put a
green
little bit of that
slop.
vinegar, you know what I'm saying? Now back when I used to eat pork, you put the right amount of fat bag in there, especially in them greens. You put just enough pepper, not to overdo it. Oh
Have
my goodness.
mercy.
Oh my
And then
goodness.
and there is a mystery
Make
as to why you guys seem to be suffering from, I don't
make
know,
it make him want to smack your mama.
chubbiness.
Mm-mm.
Oh no, no, no. I love my mother. I love my mother too much. That's maternal abuse.
Listen, no,
I'm not going.
that's look when the cooking's so good, right? That plate's so good, make it. You know what I'm
When my
saying? You have
mother cooks
the
a good meal, I
macaroni.
say, "Why, mother? Thank you so much. This food was
I'm talking.
absolutely delightful."
I'm talking about southern macaroni and cheese, where you put the milk in there with the chunks of cheese, and it's
Oh, I
like
do that as
three
well.
different
But
chunks of
I
cheese.
don't really use, I've
You
got loads of different
yeah, you
cheeses.
put
And I
what
put
I
cream
do.
in there instead, double
Yeah,
cream,
yeah, and what I do, I'll what I
paprika, garlic,
no
onion.
no I don't put paprika or none of
Oh,
that.
no, I do.
No,
I do.
no.
Or
There's the
even like
cheese
chili.
because the cheese kind of gets the flavor in there, especially the way you cook it. It's just with the types of cheeses that you use, with like your sharp, like your cheddar. Use some mild cheddar. Some people even use a little bit of cream cheese. You know, some
I
folks
don't
will.
like mild cheddar at all. I find it
Yeah,
so bland. Give me extra mature cheddar. Extra,
and
extra mature
then
cheddar.
you cover it up for a little bit. Um, you put
With
the layer
foil.
of cheese. I would cover it up with the foil exactly in the last
Oh, you're gonna have to stop doing
five
that though.
ten
You
minutes
know
to
that.
brown it up.
You gotta
What's
stop
that?
putting the foil on there because that is what also causes dementia. It's not good for you,
Well, we crazy anyway, but
especially.
I'd rather be crazy about my food. Mm-mm-mm. Americans, we don't care as long as it tastes good. As long as it tastes good. Mm-mm-mm. Look, you can't stop. You can't tell me nothing. I cook everything with foil. Matter of fact, when we
I
talk about
used
these
to
aliens, I go
put
on
my hands in foil.
I go on mute. I go on mute, and I put my special tinfoil hat on. Straight with the antenna. No, I'm just
That's fine as long as your head ain't baking. It's the foil and the heat that does it, and all the you know. So
but
how
see, I
should I
can't.
call it?
See, the
Aluminium
crazy
or
thing is,
aluminum?
oh, it's aluminum. Definitely not aluminium. That thing sounds like you're talking about what they don't put in Wolverine's hands. You're talking about some comic book type stuff. Is that vibranium? Is that Black Panther
Aluminium,
stuff?
aluminum.
Oh
It sounds
yes, in a
weird.
in a in a great peach cobbler. So the funny thing is, I never really knew how to cook peach cobbler. The only thing I would see from my grandmother, she would do a great job making the crust. And I'm telling you, because she was from South Carolina, she'd do a great job making that crust. But I'm trying to figure out because I don't know if she like used, like what she done use. If she used like Crisco in there or like, like something. So that was the only thing. I miss my grandmother's peach cobbler. That thing used to be amazing. It used to be amazing. That with ice
We
cream.
do apple crumble.
Yeah, I like apple. Yeah, you could do an apple. We could just say apple pie, or you could do an apple cobbler. Cobbler's just it's just opened up. You know what I'm saying? You just you just chop it on up. It's there in the crust. And
So there's
there it
nothing
is. But
topped
I'm
on,
telling you,
put on top. Just the peaches
uh,
exposed,
yeah, just a peach. Yeah, yeah.
all
You could
naked
put
and
like a lattice.
exposed to the world.
Yeah, you could put a lattice on there. Like a little lattice thing. Some folks will put lattice on there. But
Okay.
yeah, it was probably lard. That's what I'm saying. I can't be eating like the stuff I used to love to eat. I can't eat anymore. That's what I was gonna say. Like, I would love to go to a soul food place, but I can't eat any of the things in a soul food place because
Well,
all the chickens. Because
the
all
next
the
time
chickens
you
gonna
come
be
over
cooked.
here, I'll do you
Yeah.
apple crumble,
All right. Yeah, that sounds good.
cinnamon and nutmeg and everything.
Yeah,
And
but
the top crumbles so fine and buttery.
hmm
Yeah,
yeah,
with the pie base.
yeah, but don't knock it. I mean, that's the stuff that we used to eat. But then it's like now that you do better, you know, um, you know, yeah, I used to eat the naked peach cobbler, but and some people would, would cook, with the little lattice on in there, keep it open, things of that nature. You know, it just depends. It's just a preference. Probably where you grew up in the South is what got carried to you. Yeah, smoked turkey wings were pretty good. I like turkey neck. Come on now, y'all know about the turkey necks.
I don't. What's on that
Oh
thing?
no, no, no!
No,
Ooh,
don't get it
ooh,
twisted. My grandma and them,
ooh,
they're Caribbean. They eat all that stuff. I'm like, well, what am I eating? It's
ooh.
just a neck.
Come on now, y'all know about that smoked turkey neck? Oh, that smoked turkey. Ooh, mm.
I like to tear my teeth into flesh. Sorry.
No, that's the best. That's the best part. Ooh, that's the best. Except it has all the little small bones and stuff in there. But man, that meat is
Yeah, I don't do all that mess.
yeah, that meat is so tender.
I want to eat. I come to eat and devour. I don't want to be choking on a bone. I don't want to be
Yeah,
like, oh,
yeah,
nah, I can't be
yeah,
dealing. Just
yeah.
give me,
That's
let me put the flesh between my teeth and tear it and just chew it and just swallow it and just, I don't want to be have to pick. What is there to eat on that thing? It's just bone. You're just sucking on the marrow. It's
yeah,
like,
man. No, all I got now. I just have to. I can't eat any of that stuff. I just have to eat me a soup right now because y'all heard me almost coughing up a lung.
I thought I was bad, but at least I didn't need. Nobody needed to hear that. So that every so often I would put the thing up, you know, tune myself out, and none of you could hear me. Like I sounded like a transformer.
Mm.
But yeah, man, it's so funny. Like how we talk about food. Food unites us. It brings us together. It's like the force. It
Mhm.
brings us together. It unites us. It washes over us, and it makes us feel good.
But before I go, but let me tell you on the continent. Let me tell you in Tanzania. Let me tell you what they use. They use a lot of beef. They use a lot of beef. They use beef pepperoni.
Okay.
Oh yeah, they use beef sausage. They use beef um um
Lamb sausages are nice.
yeah. No, yeah, but it's very nice. It's very nice. So, you know, um I'm just saying.
You're
I'm
just
just
looking
saying.
forward to going there to eat some food, aren't you,
I'm getting
Karis?
hungry. I'm getting hungry.
Like,
My stomach is starting to. It's been 3 hours. Look, and now I'm gonna eat. I'm gonna be like, man, all that food. And I'm just gonna drink me as a smoothie.
that's
Smoothie and
that's why Karis is kicking everybody off. Like, that I need to eat, otherwise I'm going to get very hangry. Let me eat.
yeah,
Otherwise, I might find a dry hard biscuit
yeah. I
and
know.
eat that instead.
Look. I'm gonna be feeling like the French here in 3 months.
The biscuit you found at the back of the cupboard.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, it's,
So
it's going to be some hard, cold times for everybody. But you know what? I'll bear it if it means getting out of here, and if it means that these nations come out of our land, because it's still our land. I don't care. This is where we just rest in our head for the time being until the Most High calls us out. I don't care. I want home to look good so that when we get there, we join up with family, and it's just, oh, can you imagine? We're all meeting each other, and you'll be like, so where's this person? I'm not going to speak. I'm not going to say anything because you lot will probably recognize my voice, so I won't say nothing. Actually, if you want to know who I am, I'll be the one throwing the biscuits, the hard biscuits at the back of everybody's neck.
mm, well, there
And
you
then you'll be
go.
like, Shanta's around here. But anyway, I think I've talked enough, and poor Karis needs to
Yeah,
eat
3.5
and drink.
hours. They can such a shit. Tell you could have your you should be having your own show. No, I'm just, you,
No. I wouldn't even know. Do you know what? I wouldn't even know what to talk about.
don't worry,
As
we got it for you, Sister Chantel. She'll be our English news anchor for Region
no,
6 News.
no. This is going to
After,
sound really
after
shocking to
the hour.
everybody, but I am actually quite shy. I am. I know it's weird, but I am. The reason I'm kind of like, it's like being with family right now. So I'm kind of cool with everybody, and because we was in the chat and everything, so I know everybody in the chat. I've been socializing with everybody in the chat, but me and Garth, we're like, I had to drag Garth on as well. Sorry, I had to drag Garth on as well, and yeah, because both of us, we don't like to hear our voices. I hate to hear my voice, and I'm really shy. I really am, but it's just nice being here with family, so. But yeah, Karis, I'm gonna let you go so you can go toilet. I mean, That was I meant to say go to and eat. I'm so sorry.
All right. Well, I appreciate
You
it.
need to go and eat and drink. Sorry, that.
It's been 3 hours. I appreciate it. Thank you, Sister Chantel.
Bye.
Reporting from the other side of the pond. All right. Well, fam, I'm just praying that you all enjoyed this. This was a good one. You know, we got together as a family talking about some of these current events. But the focus is on Yahushua HaMashiach. It always is. And so we are celebrating really what the Most High is doing. Those are the current events. Seeing him move, seeing him work, seeing him fulfilling his word. So with that said, family, Most High willing, I'll be back on Friday. So Sister Chantel got me messed up. All right. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And again, please support not just Quest Unite Africa, also please support the Dry Bones Project. Please support all of our ministries, family. While you see the time, this is the time. This is where the work is coming in. And this harvest is getting ready to come through. It's literally harvest time. It's literally harvest season. So with that said, family, Most High willing, I'll be back on tomorrow. And with that, Shalom, Salama, Siemi, Shalom. Peace and blessings, Yasharel.
Tuna wageni watatu, Mheshimiwa Sebastian Kapufi mbunge, ambao ni wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Wadau wa maendeleo kutoka Marekani. Karibuni sana.